Try that girl back. We can go out, but she can't be like that.
Good morning, Bruce. You look nice today. Is that a new shirt?
No.
Oh, it's a good color on you.
Okay, what kind of mood are you in?
I'm in a great mood. Thanks for asking. Got a good night's sleep. I ran 5 miles this morning. Got to look at my docket, which is very light, which means I can leave at 2:30 and pick up my kid at school.
Oh,
Oh, what?
there's been a change.
No, there hasn't.
Judge Fastbine broke his collarbone. He slipped. So all his cases have been shifted over here.
Don't tell me that.
First up, youthful offender case. 15-year-old girl, Lizzie Turton.
No.
Stabbed her home ec teacher with a pair of scissors.
Tell me this isn't happening.
Could be worse.
How?
You could have been the home ec teacher.
It's cute.
Your Honor, Lizzie Turton's attack on her teacher was both savage and unprovoked. This woman came very close to dying, and as it stands, will suffer permanent nerve damage. Because of this, the state charges assault with the intent to commit murder.
Miss Charles.
Yes, Your Honor. My client, Lizzie Turton, pleads lack of responsibility due to the fact that she suffers from a severe mental disorder.
That's a broad category. Please be more specific.
Ms. Turton suffers from dissociative identity disorder.
What is that exactly?
It's also known as multiple personality disorder.
Oh, Your Honor, this is outrageous. Our office was never notified of this defense.
I submitted DID as our primary defense.
You never said anything about multiple personalities.
It's the same thing.
I trust you have a psych evaluation to back this up?
Yes, Your Honor. Lizzie was in an altered state when the attack occurred. She doesn't even remember it. She quite literally was not herself.
Then who was she?
She has 13 identities altogether. From what we can tell, she was Vanessa.
Please, can you help me?
Do you have an appointment with someone?
No, I just walked in. You help people here, right?
We try. What's your name?
Veronica Welch. I don't want to hurt my baby. And I'm afraid that I could. I don't want to. Can you help me?
Come on. Just have a seat. Take a few deep breaths. What's your baby's name?
Nicolette. She's 8 months.
And you haven't hurt her.
No, but it's so hard. I'm working 2 jobs and I'm barely making it. And when she acts up, I just lose my patience.
Where's the baby's father?
I don't know.
Where's she now?
Daycare. The trouble starts when I come home at night. I'm so exhausted and she's so cranky. She's teething. And she can just cry for hours without stopping. I am not going to be like my father. I'm not going to hit my kid.
Good. That's the way you should feel.
If you could just take her for a little while, you know, just a week or 2, just until I feel better.
Miss Welsh, it doesn't work like that. If you surrender your baby to the Department of Children and Families, you may have a hell of a time getting her back.
Then what am I supposed to do?
Can you hang on till tomorrow? I'll send somebody there to do a complete interview, and we'll talk about food stamps and counseling, other resources, okay?
You really promise someone will come?
Yes, I do. Can you hang on?
Vincent, my boy, been waiting long?
A little while.
Sorry about that. Staff meetings. They take forever. So, we have some things to talk about. You know, I sent your stuff to Random House.
Yeah.
They passed.
Oh.
It was a very positive rejection. They think you're a good writer, but they're just not taking any short stories right now.
Well, I guess that's that.
I also sent your work to Delacorte.
Yeah.
They passed too.
Okay.
But they also like the work.
Great. One more rejection, I'll be a certified genius.
I also sent your work to Algonquin.
And let me guess.
They didn't pass.
Really?
They want to put you on their fall list.
Are you kidding me?
I don't kid. There is, however, one caveat. They told me they're missing a title story. That is one piece which will tie all the work together. They need to see that before they make the official offer.
Want me to write another story?
Not just any story. A killer story.
A story about a killer.
No. Just something that will knock their socks off. Think you can manage it?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure the answer is yes.
By Friday?
Friday. What, isn't 4 days Friday?
That's the one.
The guy says, "Are you telling me I'm not covered for flood damage?" And I say, "Yes, that's what I'm telling you." And he says, "But how could I not be covered for flood damage?" And I say, "No one is covered for flood damage. It's a separate policy." And he says, "But flood damage is..."
Peter, it's the 5th time you said flood damage.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was annoying you.
Amy, I heard you got a hell of a case today.
Mom, how does this stuff filter through?
I have my sources.
What's the case?
I can't say.
Multiple personality disorder.
Mom,
What, like civil?
how can you talk about this?
I'm not bound by judicial ethics.
Mommy, can you cut my meat?
Why couldn't you have been something else? Like a dentist?
Cut it up smaller. Alicia cuts it up really small. She says choking is the #1 way kids die.
Who's Leisha?
Daddy's girlfriend. Her whole name is Alicia Courtney Elvin. Daddy calls her Alicia.
Remember when he used to call you Mimi?
Yeah, he does love those diminutives.
Hey, is Alicia nice?
Very nice.
Looks a little like Mommy.
No.
No, she has blonde hair and blue eyes. He got her a sapphire necklace.
A what?
Sapphires to match her eyes.
Amy, this is none of our business.
Me and Alicia played count the sapphires.
All right, how many sapphires?
28.
28.
I'm thinking her age.
I'm thinking our SAT scores.
So, not to change a fascinating topic of conversation, but I finally have some good news to contribute. My book is going to be published next fall.
Oh, Vincent. Congratulations.
All right. I knew you could do it. That's great.
How'd that happen?
In a strange turn of events, a publisher read my stories and actually liked them. So he's given me an advance if I write another great story by Friday, which I will.
I am so proud of you.
Here's a toast to one of those moments when having children pays off. Congratulations. Thank God. It killed me to see him washing those dogs. Wasting his talent like that.
He wasn't wasting it. He was paying his dues. Julian, you okay?
Fine.
I said something wrong, didn't I?
No.
Yes. It was the thing about children paying off. That was insensitive.
You didn't mean it that way.
Honey, can't we just drop the baby thing for one night?
The baby thing? Like it's some kind of hobby?
Hey, Peter. Why don't you take a break?
I'm still eating.
No, you're not.
I know you just want me out of here.
Of course we do. Go.
I didn't mean to be selfish.
Don't be silly. It's an emotional issue. Unfortunately, most men don't do emotion well.
That's awful. We're constantly fighting. Neither one of us seem to be able to say the right thing.
I wish you two could just relax and get away.
I've been thinking that maybe we need some time apart.
Well, that may be the best thing.
You think? Well, everyone needs a vacation now and then. Well, my therapist says that sometimes you need to get away from each other in order to get back together.
If you don't mind my saying so, dear, I think that's hogwash.
Mother-
People need to work on their problems together Running away won't fix anything.
I don't think Julian's talking about running away. Just maybe sometime at a spa or something.
I don't really like spas, but I was thinking maybe a weekend in the city.
Yeah, like that.
Isn't it best to be with family when you're feeling low?
Maybe. I don't know.
Why don't you talk to Peter about it?
He wouldn't understand.
Give him a chance. There's no time like the present. Go on, talk to him. I can't believe you suggested they separate.
I didn't mean a real separation.
What, pray tell, is an unreal separation? When you first came back here, you just needed time to think. Now you're getting divorced.
It's not fair to compare my situation to hers.
People who separate don't get back together.
I was just trying to help.
Okay, which one of you made Jillian cry?
I did.
She and Peter are sitting there in the dark like two characters in a Russian play.
I've got to fix this.
Oh, Mom, don't.
I am not going to stand by and watch this family fall apart. Philip, right?
Phil.
I have a case I really need you to go out on today. The single mother working 2 jobs, sick baby, scared she's going to abuse. Why are you shaking your head?
Well, I can't do it. I'm really busy.
Oh, you're the one. We work for the government, Phil. Overworked and underpaid is part of the job description.
Well, I don't know about today.
I know about today. This woman is desperate. It's our job to save her. I've made a list of groups and agencies for her to call, along with contacts at each. You take it over to her.
Why can't you do it?
I'm your superior. I'm giving you a case. End of discussion. One more thing. Phil, while you're there, offer to hold the baby for a few minutes. Jillian, what's wrong?
Nothing. Can we talk in your office? I've been thinking about what Amy said the other night about me needing to get away for a while.
Amy didn't mean that, Jillian. No one thinks it's a good idea that you and Peter spend time apart.
But having been through a breakup, maybe she sees things more clearly.
No, she doesn't. Everyone's marriage is different, and everyone's breakup is different. Not that you and Peter are breaking up.
No. It's just that we can't be together right now. I have to get away from him. From the house, just for a little while.
Well, where would you go?
Well, I was hoping that I'd be staying with you.
Me?
Well, you're the one who said that families should be together when they're having problems.
I meant Peter.
But Peter's the problem. Or maybe it's me. I don't know. The point is, neither one of us can take the fights anymore. Maxine, please. I need this.
Okay. Get your stuff. 1 suitcase only. You may stay 1 week. If you promise to rest and relax.
Thank you.
Dr. Gelman, where does DID generally come from?
Severe abuse. I'm talking about childhood trauma, such as torture. In Lizzie's case, her mother tried repeatedly to kill her when she was small. Would hold her head under the water in the bathtub until she passed out. A small child, 2 or 3 years old, is incapable of processing that her own mother is a threat to her life. So Lizzie split off that part of her personality, and that alter kept the memory and shut down. When children suffer as much as Lizzie did, they usually don't survive. They either die or go insane. DID is a coping mechanism, and quite a good one. We consider DID patients survivors.
Thank you. No further questions?
Mr. Williams, cross-examine.
Dr. Gilman, now you said there really aren't different personalities in a DID patient. They're all the same person.
Yes, that's correct.
Then isn't it true that Lizzie Turton is the person who stabbed her teacher 14 times with a pair of scissors?
In a sense, yes.
Please?
But
yes or no? Is Lizzie Turton that person?
Yes.
Thank you. That's all.
Who the hell let Socrates out? He's not supposed to be out by himself. You know. Oh, Jillian, you're here already.
I'm sorry about Socrates. He scratched at the door and I didn't know.
Yeah. If you, just walk out with him, he goes right away. What are you doing?
I'm making dinner. I thought it would be a nice surprise, but it's not because you probably went to the market, which was really crowded and got what everyone likes, and here I am making goulash and ruining your plan.
No. It's good to try something. Unexpected. My cooking has been in a rut. This'll be nice.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Just tell me now, is there somebody in every room of this house?
Hey, Mom. It's good to see you, too.
What are you doing here?
I'm trying to work. I have to write the world's greatest short story by the end of the week, or I'm back to obscurity.
And this has to be done at my house.
Unfortunately, yes. My apartment is a zoo, literally.
I don't know why you just don't have it out with Doug. It's clear that he should pay more rent since he spends the most time there.
I really can't argue with you now. I have got to do this work.
Oh, please, don't let me break your concentration by living here.
I want my wife back.
Good afternoon to you too, dear.
Where is she?
We smuggled her across the border this morning.
Mother?
Peter, she's in the kitchen. If you hurry, you can grab her by the hair and drag her back to the cave.
Why are you acting like this?
Why are you? You can't just come over here demanding your wife back as if she were property.
You're encouraging her to leave me.
I most certainly am not. Every instinct I have wants to tell her to go home. But Jillian is family, and I have a very deep need to offer sanctuary to my family.
Well, I'm family too, and I just want to talk to her.
Go ahead. When your father and I fought, I used to go to the guest room. I called it the apartment, a place I could go and pretend to be single. I don't know what I would have done without it. Of course, Dad had the good sense to keep his distance.
If she's in pain, I just want to help.
Leave her alone. That's how you can help. Peter? Now go home.
Miss Bossy, you're Lizzie's social worker, is that correct?
Yes, since her aunt died 3 years ago, I placed her with her current foster family.
Have you noticed any extreme changes in her personality?
I wouldn't say extreme, but there were changes.
For example?
Sometimes Lizzie's posture would change, and so would the timbre of her voice. Often she sounded like a little girl, other days like a 30-year-old.
Did you know that she was MPD?
No, that was confidential information.
However, you knew her history of abuse.
Yes, I had her records.
Could you tell us about that?
She was removed from her mother's care after her mother repeatedly tried to kill her. The first family she was placed with abused her severely. She suffered sexual molestation and various forms of torture. She was locked in a dark room without food for days. And that was just the first home.
Would you like to take a break, Miss Bossy?
No, I can keep going.
Would you view Lizzie as a troubled child?
No, not especially. We all thought she was doing incredibly well for what she'd been through.
When you heard what she did, were you surprised?
Yes, very. It didn't sound like Lizzie at all.
So many people, we could be eating in the dining room.
It's cozy in here.
What is this?
It's something wonderful that Jillian made.
It's Hungarian goulash.
Misha made me pancakes, real ones. She says it's cheating to use the mix.
She does she?
Just saves time if you're a busy working woman.
Misha owns her own company. She makes her own shampoo. It's called Floral Theory.
I've used that.
Who drops by at dinner time?
No one came.
Miss Wells.
You promised. I went by your office. They said that you had left. How could you just leave? I told you I was in trouble. No one came. It's your fault. Now you get to keep her. No, you didn't come.
Veronica? Veronica? Come back! Don't do this!
You are the most beautiful baby. Hmm? Maxine, look at these tiny little hands. I mean, they look like real hands, but they're so much smaller.
She's beautiful. Babies are a lot of fun when they're just visiting.
Your three didn't just visit.
No. And most of them are still here, more or less.
This is my last day here. One more revision, I'm gone.
Stay as long as you like.
You don't mean that, do you?
Of course not.
Looks like Nicoletta's found a friend.
She's such a good girl.
Don't get attached. She's going back.
Why can't we keep her?
She already has a mommy, sweetheart.
Yeah, Mommy, who obviously doesn't appreciate her.
She was overwhelmed and she panicked. At least she didn't hurt her. She gets a point for that.
Why? People aren't supposed to hurt their children.
Jillian, it can be overwhelming. What you're seeing right now is not what parenting looks like.
I would give my right arm to have a child, and this woman dumps her off like trash.
You're not listening.
I'm sorry, there's no excuse. She needs changing.
Maybe my dad and Misha will have a baby.
Oh, honey, let's not start with Alicia. I mean, getting your hopes up, because they're not even engaged yet.
No, but they're going to Japan next summer, so who knows? I'm gonna go help Aunt Jillian.
Japan. He's taking her to Japan.
My, what green eyes you have.
I'm not jealous. I'm just annoyed that she's getting to do all the things I wanted and couldn't get Michael to even consider.
Right, that's different than being jealous.
Did you spend the night so you could get up early and torture me?
Yeah, how am I doing?
Great. So, with all of us off to various jobs, who's going to babysit today?
Jillian took a personal day.
You think that's a good idea?
It's the best idea I have right now.
Well, you do have a long-term plan, like placing the kid in foster care.
No. DCF dropped the ball. I let the woman down.
Well, she abandoned her kid. She should be arrested.
Amy, you've had help. You have family. You don't know what it feels like to be alone with a baby.
I'm looking at this as a judge.
Well, stop it. This is my mess, and I'm gonna clean it up.
Yes. Yes, this will do nicely.
You like it?
I love it. You touched on some of these characters a little in your other stories, and then to bring them together as this thunderingly dysfunctional family. It's the perfect finale.
It's mean, isn't it?
No, observant. And Tyler with testicles. And that infertile couple. Well, you heard me laugh. And I don't laugh.
Yeah, I don't think I can do it.
Do what?
I'm gonna write you another story. I can't use that one.
But I just said it was perfect.
Look, that family, that's my family. The infertile couple are my brother and sister-in-law. I can't do this to them.
Vincent, do you think you're the only person who's had to grapple with this? A great writer has to be fearless and ruthlessly honest. You start worrying about hurt feelings, you automatically compromise your work.
It's just that they're having problems right now.
By the time the book comes out, it'll be history.
Lizzie, before we begin, I have to know if you understand why you're here today.
Yes, ma'am. They say I hurt my teacher, Mrs. Amos.
But you don't remember that.
No, ma'am.
Your Honor, this goes well beyond clarification. You're asking me to believe that Miss Turton has no memory of the events in question?
No, Mr. Weems, I'm satisfying myself that she is competent enough to participate in these proceedings. She is a juvenile, and I'm allowed such liberties.
Yes, Your Honor.
Lizzie, you realize you're under oath, and you have to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Proceed, Miss Charles.
Lizzie, could you please tell the court what you remember about the day that you attacked your teacher, Mrs. Amos?
Home ec is my first period class, and I hate it. I'm no good at that kind of thing. We were learning how to make aprons. We were cutting out patterns. I was kind of daydreaming, and I guess I cut the fabric crooked. Mrs. Amos came over and saw what I was doing, and she got mad.
What did she say?
She said, "Lizzie, what are you doing? Are you paying attention?" She jerked the scissors out of my hand and said, "Here, let me show you." She started to cut the fabric for me, and I just watched.
Then what happened?
I was just staring at the scissors. They were nice scissors with orange handles.
So Miss Amos started cutting the fabric. Then what happened?
I felt nervous. People were looking at me. I tried to take the scissors from Mrs. Amos to prove I could do it.
Now, do you remember taking the scissors away from your teacher?
No.
You don't remember stabbing her?
No.
What's the next thing you do remember?
Lizzie, you have to answer.
The next thing I remember is being in the principal's office. The police came.
What did the police say?
They said I had stabbed Mrs. Amos. But I don't think I could have done that, though.
I gave you an assignment. I told you to go and see Veronica Welsh. Why didn't you?
I couldn't. Okay, I told you that I was buried here. I ate my lunch at my desk, and I never get out of here before 8 o'clock.
She came to us begging for help. Now, let's say you go there when it's more convenient and the child is dead. Still worried about where you eat your lunch?
Okay, I get it. I'll go by there today.
No, you don't get it. Have you ever felt desperate and out of control, Phil?
Yeah, I feel like that right now.
Your life is a walk in the park compared to these people. And if you don't get that, you shouldn't be here.
What, and give up show business?
Philip, you are so incredibly fired.
Hey, you busy?
Little. I leave Doug here for one afternoon. I got a mutant strain of TB growing in my sink.
Oh, okay. I don't want to interrupt.
Now, Peter, come in. But you never visit me. What am I going to do, turn you away?
I got off early with Jillian gone. I don't have anything to do with my spare time.
I'm sure she'll be home soon.
Also, I got to thinking. You and I don't talk anymore.
We never talked.
Well, it's time to rectify that. We're brothers. We should go to a bar and throw a few brews back and get in touch. Don't you think?
You want to hang out with me?
Yeah.
What's going on? You got that look.
You get to go home early today. The Turton case is going to get kicked.
Why?
Her teacher, Mrs. Amos, developed an infection from her wounds. Went to the emergency room last night, died early this morning.
Oh, my God. Early this morning, Lizzie's teacher, Mrs. Amos, succumbed to an infection as a result of her injury. Her death changes the nature of this trial.
Your Honor, the state's attorney intends to file new charges.
Your Honor, witnesses have been sworn. Jeopardy is attached. That would be double jeopardy?
The state intends to file an additional complaint against the defendant for murder.
I understand.
In all likelihood, we'll want to take this out of juvenile matters.
Mr. Weems, we can talk about this in chambers.
What does that mean? Why did he say murder?
I am sorry. Court is adjourned.
But I couldn't kill anyone. I couldn't do that. Oh God, no. Please, it's not true. No, it's not true.
You remember when I started writing stories in the 6th grade? Dad went to my teacher and he said, "Tell me the truth. Is this normal?"
Oh, those stories were incredible. The one about the guy who finds a Cro-Magnon man living in his basement.
Oh, you remember that one?
Sure. I thought you had a great imagination, and I never did have any.
Oh, that's not true.
Yes, it is. But I didn't care. I knew what I wanted. Dad's life, wife, job, and kids. And without that, I don't know who I am.
Jillian's coming home.
How do you know?
Because Mom's gonna kill her if she doesn't.
I don't want to lose her, Vincent. I don't know why I'm telling you this. You're my younger brother. I always had this image of explaining life to you. Women in particular, but you were always so successful with the girls.
Well, I'm not sure the girls would agree with that.
Jillian was only my second girlfriend. That is, the second woman I'd, you know,
Yeah, okay.
been with.
Uh-huh.
You've probably been with dozens.
You want another Mai Tai?
So I guess you should give me advice.
Look, Peter, you're married. I'm not. You obviously know more about this than I do. You've taught me things.
We should just talk more. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that.
Good.
Yeah.
Got any chews? What do you know? I won. Come on, you win some, you lose some.
Leisha always lets me win.
Well, I don't think that's a good idea.
How come?
I used to let you in when you were little. But you're old enough to be a good sport now. I think it's important to learn.
So you don't like Leisha?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I just disagree with her about this one thing. Besides, I hardly know her.
Does it bother you when I talk about her?
No. I'm glad you like her. Okay, time to go to bed.
If Daddy marries her, she'll be my stepmom, right?
Uh-huh. Sleep tight, baby.
Mommy, can I tell you something?
Of course.
I don't like Leisha.
Why not?
She wears too much perfume, and she talks to me like I'm a baby.
She does?
And she calls Daddy dumb names.
Like what?
Sugar Bear.
Yeah.
Are you mad at me because I don't like Leisha?
No. You can't help how you feel. But I do think it's important to find a couple things that you like about her and try to focus on that.
Okay, I'll try.
See you in the morning.
Okay.
Hey.
Hi.
Where's the baby?
Sleep. I read your story.
Oh, Jillian, I'm sorry.
Don't be.
I know that the characters seem familiar, but they're really fictionalized. There's no excuse. If I hurt you, there's no excuse.
You actually helped me, Vincent.
How?
You made me see myself. I have become so obsessed with having a baby that it's consumed me. It's become my identity. You illustrated that very well. It's like I'm a caricature or something.
No, Jillian, you're not.
I mean, why am I so frantic about having my own child? There are kids in the world who need parents, and we could help one of them. Peter's right. We should think about adoption.
Don't make any decisions based on my stupid story.
In that paragraph where you said the frantic need to have children is sometimes the frantic need to escape your own sad limitations.
I need to reword that.
The need to reinvent your own life, to recreate your own identity. That's what I was doing.
If I hurt you, I feel really bad. Calling it my work is not a justification.
Your job is to tell the truth. My job is to learn from it.
Hey, you got a nice, nasty custody case this morning. Pleasant change from yesterday.
They're trying Lizzie Turton as an adult.
I heard.
I'll never see her again. I'll probably never even know what happened.
Part of the job, I'm afraid. You have to try to put it out of your mind.
What, the image of a woman trying to drown her daughter over and over?
I know. It's hard.
And I worry about missing my kid's dance recital.
Those things are a pain in the ass, aren't they?
Oh, right. You have to go to them, too.
I mean, none of the kids know how to dance. They're always bumping into each other.
They go on forever.
They're in the middle of the afternoon.
And if you don't make it, you've ruined your kid's life.
You get the lip. Hmm? Hmm? Hmm?
I'm glad you're around, Bruce.
I'm glad I can help. Okay, well, you're late. Let's go.
What's going on?
I'm bringing your baby home. May I come in? Miss Welsh, this is your lucky day. Dumping your baby on a social worker would normally be grounds for termination of parental rights. But I believe that mothers should be with their babies when at all possible. I promised you help. I didn't provide it. But I'm here now, and we're going to work out your problem.
What do you mean?
Well, we're going to sit down, make a list. I'm going to outline ways that you can reduce your stress, ways that you can get financial
I don't
help
wanna
so you don't
do
have
this.
to work so hard. Do what?
I don't want her back.
You don't mean that.
Look, you don't understand. I have been going crazy trying to take care of her. And when she was with you, I only felt relieved. And it made me realize that I'm not in any shape to take care of a child.
Veronica, you've clearly had a hard time. But don't make a decision you'll later regret.
I don't think I'm gonna regret it.
She's your flesh and blood.
I know. But honestly, when I look at her, I just don't feel that much.
If I take her away, she'll go into the system. And you'll have an even harder fight to get her back. It may never happen.
I understand that, and as long as I know that she's being taken care of, I can live with it.
Veronica, please
Look, my parents didn't want me, and they made me pay for it. I don't want Nicolette to know what that feels like.
That's a cop-out.
Okay, call it whatever you want. Just take her. Take her. Take her.
All right. If this is the choice you're making...
It is.
Hey, where have you been? Working. I had to find a placement for Nicolette. Her mother won't take her back.
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
And where are you going?
To the movies. Lauren got asked to a sleepover, so I'm free.
What are you going to see?
I don't know. I don't care. I'm in it for the popcorn. You want to come?
No, thanks. I'm a little exhausted. Where's everybody else?
Jillian went back to Peter. Vincent finished his story and went home. Your house is your own again.
You're kidding.
Sure you won't be lonely by yourself?
I can't wait to find out.
See ya.
Al? Carbohydrates and caffeine. I certainly hope that isn't your breakfast.
I had tofu and broccoli before you got here. But thanks for the concern.
Mind telling me why I was called out here away from my own hearty meal?
Came across one of these. Hey, come here.
Ah, yes. A handcuffed child. That would be my department.
Well, I have to admit, he wasn't actually handcuffed when I found him.
I'm Maxine Gray. I'm a social worker. What's your name?
Manual.
Manual. Manual what?
Manual labor.
Well, you didn't have to drag me out here. I could have come and seen Mr. Labor in detention.
Well, there's something here I think you ought to see.
If Officer Bonero undoes those cuffs, you promise not to run away?
Sure. Because I could ditch you two old fossils with a brisk walk.
Al?
That was an encouraging pat on the head, because he is so amusing.
You've been squatting here? This place is unquestionably toxic. We're probably getting cancer right this very moment. You didn't think about that, did you?
Over 24 hours, you ingest about the same amount of carcinogen as smoking a quarter pack a day. So I quit smoking. Comes out about it even.
Okay. Maybe you did think about it.
Not your average street rat.
We should call NASA. Tell them they're missing a few things.
Lauren is 1 minute late for school. 1 minute. And Mrs. Schlewe made her get a pass from the office. Is that fair?
It's part of her education.
I suppose your daughter's never late. Okay. You're a better parent than I am.
No, I have a better alarm clock.
What's this?
Notice from appellate court.
What do they want?
The clerk is asking us to assemble the case record on Spellman versus Harper, the one you set aside the jury's verdict.
Oh, my God. I'm being appealed.
You're not being appealed. Your decision is. Judge, we all knew this was coming.
It's only been 8 weeks.
The plaintiff steamrolled the case into court.
Yeah, well, Stu Collins, steamrolling is his style.
I realize it's difficult not to take it personally, especially the first time around, but appeals are like the stock market.
Great. I'm getting killed there, too.
No matter how much information you have, you can't control it. So it's no use getting yourself all worked up.
You know, you're absolutely right. Who's the judge?
Alan Jackson?
Action Jackson? Great. A judicial conservative. That's all I need. What's the basis of the appeal?
You're not letting this go.
I'm allowed to be curious.
I can arrange for you to get the brief Stu Collins submitted, but I don't advise it.
Promise not to obsess.
Get out of here.
No, really, I won't.
No, I mean, get out of here so you can enter with due pomp and circumstance.
You know, this is my courtroom.
Of course it is, Your Honor.
Good morning, Donna.
When I say it is.
Here's a shocker. It turns out your name is not manual labor.
It isn't?
Joaquin Acosta, age 15, in DCF custody since 1997. Have your parents or any other family member contacted you since then?
Yeah, when Murphy graduated Harvard and when Chip married into the royal family.
You steal these computers and then you sell them, is that correct?
Counterfactual. I find them in dumpsters and rehabilitate them. Like what you people do to kids.
Quite the little entrepreneur.
Look at me. I have a job. I'm healthy. No scurvy, scabies, or scoliosis. Now why can't you people just let me alone?
Joaquin, back again. Hurrah, hurrah. A word?
We can't leave you alone because you're 15 years old and you're living in a carcinogenic waste dump. That's a big-brained little boy.
He's a chronic runaway. He's bolted from every foster family we've placed him with.
Well, this thing about computers, where is his educational assessment?
Forwarded to the last school that expelled him. As you may have guessed, he was off the charts in both math and language. His IQ is over 150.
150? The boy's a genius.
Yes, especially when it comes to burning foster families, being expelled from school, and running away. The police have him on trespassing, then there's the truancy. If any of those computers turn out to be stolen, he'll be sentenced to Long Lane. Maybe they'll be able to control him.
You want to incarcerate him?
Save yourself the heartache.
That's awfully big of you, Susie. Thinking of my emotions first and not your placement statistics.
We can't help all of them. We have to pick and choose. Trust me. Don't choose Joaquin.
Marcy Noble, age 6, was admitted to St. Timothy's Hospital last month after a series of seizures. The 23rd hospitalization since her birth.
What's the medical explanation?
Well, that's the problem, Your Honor. There's no explanation.
Marcy failed to thrive as an infant. She's been plagued by a series of chronic illnesses since birth.
It's the state's assertion that Marcy is sick because her mother's making her sick.
That is completely false.
Mr. Morton.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
The state is alleging that Miss Noble suffers from a syndrome known as Munchausen by proxy, a rare form of child abuse in which the parent or caregiver makes another person ill to gratify his or her own need for attention. We're requesting an order of temporary custody.
Your Honor.
Is there imminent physical danger?
Yes, there is, Your Honor. Marcy Noble's seizures are increasing in intensity and frequency.
Okay. Now, Mr. Morton.
Your Honor, Ms. Noble is a loving, devoted parent of a chronically ill child. The guilty party here is the HMO system, a system my client has publicly backed.
Publicity is an important component of Munchausen syndrome.
It took 18 months before they approved a visit to a neurologist. When they finally got to see the specialist, he refused to do the necessary tests, citing cost as a factor. Ms. Noble has testified to Congress on the subject of health care. She has devoted her life to her daughter and in the process helped thousands of other Americans. All the while, Your Honor, raising 2 other children who are, by the way, healthy and thriving.
Thank you, Mr. Morton. I'd like to hear from Marcy's physician. Let's continue this tomorrow morning at 10. Next case.
I'm really sorry, Judge Gray.
About what?
The appeal?
It's been decided.
What? Oh, no.
that it's happening.
You scared me, Donna.
Sorry.
His family name is Robertson. He's a retired police officer. She teaches high school chemistry.
Gee, can I call him Mom and Dad?
You may have had bad luck with foster parents in the past, but these people are good eggs.
They're gonna have rules.
There are many more rules in detention, which is where some people think you belong. May I ask you something? When were you last challenged? And no smart mouth, okay? Please just answer the question.
In 3rd grade, there was this teacher said if anyone could figure out the surface area of a sphere, there'd be no homework.
You figured out the surface area of a sphere at age 8.
I was 6 in the 3rd grade.
Stu Collins said I violated the sanctity of the jury room. Yeah, well, did he mean that in a bad way? Hey, Bruce, you think you could drop those transcripts off on the way home? Yeah, okay. Okay. I can wait till tomorrow. Bye. Lauren! What is that? What are you doing?
Practicing my dribbling.
You're dribbling? Since when do you dribble?
Uncle Vincent taught me.
Well, you're not allowed to dribble in the house.
But it's dark outside.
That's because it's late and you should be in bed.
I still have spelling homework.
How could you leave it so late?
You're cranky.
Yeah, I'm cranky. I trust you to get your work done.
All right, okay.
Excuse me?
You're not fun anymore.
Honey, what's the matter?
I'm getting appealed.
Oh, no.
I know. I'm not supposed to take it personally.
I sure as hell would. People thinking I made a bad decision.
Well, everyone gets appealed.
Yeah. But it's so soon. And, your first jury case. Well, it's water under the bridge.
Can I get a fried egg sandwich on a hard roll to go?
Okay, that'll be $2.25, please.
Judge Gray.
Stu, here you are.
Join me.
I'm just getting something to go.
While you wait, then. I guess you heard.
You're appealing my decision.
Nothing personal.
I guess I have to commend you on how quickly you work.
Well, it's not every day that a brand new judge throws out a jury verdict. I wasn't about to let any grass grow into that one.
Well, as long as it's not personal.
Regardless of how this thing works out, I hope that we can maintain a professional friendship.
Why? I'm in juvenile matters. You're a civil litigator. It's unlikely that we'd meet again.
Okay? Forget the professional aspect. We could just be friends.
Here again, I fail to see the advantage.
Wow, this appeal really has you hacked, doesn't it?
Stu, we didn't like each other in law school. I see no reason to change that.
Amy, you're not gonna last very long in this job if you don't learn to distance yourself.
Fried egg in a row.
That's me. Here we go.
Goodbye, Judge Gray. May the best man win, so to speak.
I first treated Marcy when she was 2 years old. Her symptoms were always the same. Unexplained fevers, seizures, and vomiting. She's been tested for everything under the sun, but the cause of her illness remains elusive.
What made you finally call DCF?
After Marcy's last seizure, I ran a blood test and discovered her medication present at alarming levels, far beyond what I prescribed. That's when I made the call.
But it was a blood test that I asked him to perform.
Mrs. Noble, you'll have your chance.
I'm sorry, but I simply can't. Okay. I'm sorry.
So you're saying the same medication that can stop the seizures can cause them?
If she were given enough of an extra dosage, yes.
Did anyone actually see Mrs. Noble administer the drug?
No.
Emily Noble meets every characteristic of Munchausen by proxy. She's a former medical office worker. She's proactive, almost obsessive about her daughter's medical treatment, and she loves the publicity.
I do not. But I will do whatever I have to get help for my daughter, and if that means standing in front of a camera or testifying before Congress, then I will do it. Doctors don't like to be challenged.
But when it's your own child, then...
Dr. Eden is a mandated reporter.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but my client is bearing two burdens, the illness of her child and this specious attack.
All right, everybody just be quiet for a moment. How precarious is the child situation?
At her current rate of deterioration, she won't live to see her next birthday.
All right. Let's proceed to trial.
Get that. Thank you.
What on earth is all this?
Great. Cookie dough ice cream, microwave bagel dogs, and beer.
That's not food.
Yeah, it is. It's bachelor food. Doug moved in with his girlfriend, and he took the refrigerator.
Well, why didn't you buy it from him?
Because it's the only thing in the apartment she approved of, including Doug.
So now you get all the peace and quiet you need.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't afford peace and quiet.
What about that huge advance from your publisher?
That comes in increments. Very small increments.
Are you thinking of moving in here?
Here. No.
You looking for a roommate?
Yeah, you know of anybody?
Brenda McGregor.
Brenda McGregor's 64 years old.
I'll put up a note on the bulletin board at work.
Ah, great. Lawyers and felons.
If you have to choose, take the felon.
So I got to the end of the week to find somebody. The lease is up and the landlord is circling.
Don't even think about moving back here.
How many times did I say no?
Watch out for that old reverse psychology.
Which one of us, him or me?
Maxine, I hate to interrupt.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, what?
The expression of smug superiority is neither seemly nor attractive.
I know. A number of times I've seen it plastered on your face. I should know.
Is there a problem with Joaquin Acosta?
You'll recall I tried to spare you the time and heartache. A certain amount of triage is necessary.
Did he skip school?
No, it's one way of putting it.
Get to the point.
Maxine, you've trumped me numerous times. I will give you that, but I'm not wrong this time. You shouldn't have bet on this kid.
Susie, for God's sake.
I got a call from the cops. He's run away. Have we learned nothing here today?
So you're a psychology grad student? You must put in a lot of hours at school.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be spending much time here. And I have quite a substantial fellowship in case you're worried about rent. I'm kind of a loner, so you wouldn't have the anxiety of wild parties. Also, I don't have a girlfriend.
Oh, join the club.
Decided to put my social life on hold until I achieve my career goals.
That shows a lot of focus, Ted.
Oh, is that your grandfather?
No, that's Albert Einstein.
Einstein. I also noticed some bagels in the kitchen. Are you Jewish?
No. Would that matter if I was?
Oh, hey, got nothing against them. It's just that they own everything, you know. Run the country. I don't have to live with them, too.
So you're a psychology student?
Yeah.
That means someday troubled people will come to you for help?
Yeah.
Great.
Marcy was born almost 2 months premature. First, her kidneys failed, and she went on dialysis. And then she got pneumonia. She should have died. Everybody told me that. But she didn't. Marcy's always had a very strong will to survive.
When did your daughter's seizures begin?
Just after Marcy was born, I went in and checked on her in her crib, and she wasn't breathing. The doctors couldn't tell us why it had happened. They said it was one of those things, and they sent us home.
Isn't it true that after her first birthday, Marcy's health improved?
Yeah, for a little while. Then it was asthma and allergic reactions. Then it was her digestive tract. They said she had Crohn's disease, but she didn't. And then when the seizures started, they said it was epilepsy, but it wasn't. All the tests and all the pain that she's had. And nobody can help us. I mean, that's the reason I went public.
Not just for myself, but for all the other sick children and their parents.
The record says that in recent years you started to treat Marcy yourself. You gave her injections, you changed her feeding tubes.
Yes, that's because my insurance was running out. I can't afford in-home help, and I do have a medical background.
Mrs. Noble, did you give Marcy any seizure medication during your last visit?
No.
Then how do you explain the orderly's contention that you were seen leaning over your daughter just before her last seizure?
I was brushing her teeth.
So what I'm hearing is that we have no proof whatsoever that Mrs. Noble is responsible for her daughter's condition.
There is a preponderance.
Well, this is a court of law, Mr. Plymouth. It requires proof, not pure allegation. You're asking me to rule off a gut feeling. Are you already laying grounds for an appeal?
With all due respect, Your Honor, we're more concerned with Marcy Noble than the appellate court.
Well, I'm concerned about Marcy, too. Since her mother's influence is the one variable in question, I'm going to issue a temporary restraining order against Emily Noble. She's not to see her daughter for a period of 1 week.
No. Please.
Objection, Your Honor. Marcy Noble is very ill. To deny her her mother at this time would be very traumatic.
I see no other way, Mr. Morton, and it's only for a short time.
Oh, my God.
If Marcy's condition changes in either direction, we'll be closer to an explanation. This court's in recess.
You want me to hope my daughter stays sick? What kind of person are you?
If he is so smart, why would he come back here?
Because he's a child. Al, put those things away. What are you hiding, Joaquin?
Nothing?
Nothing. That's not a genius answer.
Come on. What's happening? What's happening? Come here. Was this your girlfriend?
Give it. Huh? May I see that, please? Somebody important to you?
My mother.
Then you'd better take care of it.
Medical records?
Great. More reading.
What's that?
The latest research on Munchausen's by proxy syndrome. Since when do you care what I'm reading? You thought I was reading Stu Collins' brief on my appeal, didn't you? Well, so what if I was?
Took a friendly interest, I'm sorry.
You think the fact that I'm being appealed has made me inflexible in the courtroom, don't you?
Since when do you care what I think?
I'm being presented with allegations and guesses. I'm being forced to make a decision without any hard evidence. Excuse me for being a little cranky.
Just ask what you were reading.
I mean, Emily Noble could either be a psycho or a saint. And when I look at her, I honestly can't tell. So my demands on counsel have nothing to do with the appeal. I've almost completely forgotten about it. As a matter of fact.
I can see that.
Your Honor, despite a history as a runaway, Joaquin Acosta was placed in the home of Mr. and Mrs. Stephen Robertson after he was found living in an abandoned warehouse. Not surprisingly, he took the first opportunity to run away again, which puts him in contempt of court. At this time, the state would like to suggest that he be sent to Long Lane.
Has the boy committed any other crime?
Just truancy, Your Honor.
There is the outstanding question of computers found in his possession.
Judge Fowler, if I may.
Oh, one of yours, Miss Gray.
I'm not completely satisfied Joaquin was actually running away.
Your Honor, Ms. Gray is the social worker who apprehended him.
On reflection, Joaquin may simply have been visiting his former domicile to pick up personal effects, in which case I would suggest he simply be returned to his foster home.
All right, then. Pending the discovery of whether or not the computer components were stolen, I'll bind the matter over for trial.
Judge,
I'd like to represent myself.
Young man, are you saying you want to act as your own counsel?
I realize the significance of my request, Your Honor, but my lawyer, Mr. Burroughs, and I seem to disagree on the best way to proceed. Therefore, I would like to represent myself.
Is that true?
Oh, yeah.
How old are you?
I'll be 16 in 7 months, sir.
Has Joaquin received any sort of educational assessment from DCF?
Yes, Your Honor. He's well above average on all levels.
He seems a little crazy to me. Any history of mental illness?
No, Your Honor.
He's just a smartass.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's not typical.
Neither is Joaquin. Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Judge Gray.
How'd you know it was me?
I memorized the cadence of your walk. Very authoritative, yet kind and fair.
Oh. Well, thank you.
I'm thinking of signing up for Krav Maga. You know what that is?
Some kind of self-defense?
Israeli army. Can't be too careful in this city.
Yeah.
Do you want to take part?
I know. I think I'll just depend on my authoritative walk.
Judge Gray, do you have siblings?
2. Why?
May I ask if you get along with them?
Mostly. Why?
I live with my sister, but we're not speaking right now. She disapproves of my husband, which is completely narrow-minded of her because she's never even met Oscar. Just because he's in jail, she thinks he's a bad person.
Well, people are funny that way.
But if she loves me, don't you think she should just accept my husband for who he is?
Ordinarily, I'd say yes, but Oscar is a special case. I mean, being convicted for murder is not a personality quirk.
But he didn't
Even
do
if
it.
he didn't do it, there is a stigma attached. So give your sister some time to deal with it.
I wish you were my sister.
Donna!
Sorry. Thanks.
It's not very big.
Excuse me?
The apartment. There's hardly room enough to spit.
You spit a lot?
What about parking?
Street parking, but I never had a problem.
Yeah, you wouldn't blow sunshine up my ass, would you?
No, I don't think I'd do that.
What about the telephone?
One line, but we could get 2 if you think we need it.
Yeah, I do most of my work on the phone.
You telemarketer?
Sure. I'm a telemarketer. What am I wearing? Chanel number 5. Oh, you want me to touch myself? I will if you will. Yeah, I do accents too. French, Irish, Ebonics.
I understand the rules already, but you have to let me see her.
I'm sorry, I can't go against a court order.
Please, she is my child.
Who's paged? What's going on?
My daughter is dying, and he still won't let me in to see her.
Well, if he did, he'd be breaking the law. Mrs. Noble, what happened?
Marcy's had a series of seizures.
I paged her, Judge. Marcy's mom has had no contact with her. I'm asking the no visitation order be vacated.
Please, Judge Gray, I have to be with my baby.
Mr. Plymouth?
We're not satisfied there's been no contact.
My client never entered the hospital room. I believe she's shown great restraint.
Oh, my God, my daughter is dying in there, and I am out here arguing in a corridor.
We have statements confirming Mrs. Noble's been on the ward. How do we know she didn't enter Marcy's room?
Oh, do you really think I would jeopardize everything like that?
No one saw her enter the room?
No, Your Honor.
All I wanted to be was close to her. My daughter is dying, Judge. What would you have done in that situation? Please, I am begging you. Don't let her die alone. Please, just try to imagine how I feel. Please.
I can't risk it. I stand by my ruling. If she defies it, she is to be arrested.
What?
Are you prepared to live with this on your conscience?
Yes, I am. Get your client to go home.
How can you do this? My God, if this was your child, what would you have done?
I before E except after C, remember?
I hate that rule.
You hate all rules. You're a rule hater.
What's up?
Oh, I can't believe you circled this guy. He's a former Green Beret.
He's probably very neat.
And handy with a flamethrower.
What's for dinner? Cold pizza? It's perfect.
No school today.
I think I'll go upstairs where it's quiet.
She's still angry? It was 2 days ago. I wasn't all that cranky.
She's your daughter. She clings.
I don't cling.
This guy's a snake trainer.
He wouldn't necessarily bring his work home with him.
When do I cling?
I noticed you circled only men.
Oh, I'm sure that's a coincidence.
You're talking about this appeal, aren't you?
That's one example.
I don't know why it's got me all worked up.
You like to be right. You got that from your father.
My father?
Now you've passed it on to Lauren.
Hey, you still mad?
Nope.
Honey, you can tell the truth. Lauren, I'm sorry if I'm not always in the best mood, especially lately. But I'm just like anybody else. Got my good days and my bad days. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. But now you gotta let it go.
I have to read this by tomorrow. You're not the only one with pressure.
You're right.
She regained consciousness early this morning.
Any long-term effects of the seizures?
Not as far as we can tell. She seems fine, given what she's been through.
Hi, Marcy. I'm Judge Gray. How are you feeling?
Where's my mom?
You're gonna see her in a few days.
Why can't I see her now?
Marcy, right now I need to ask you some questions. About yesterday, when you got sick.
I'm always sick.
Do you remember your first seizure?
I was thirsty.
Did anyone bring you a drink?
Sometimes when I'm thirsty from the tubes, my mother gives me bits of ice.
Is that what happened yesterday?
I can't really remember. I don't think so.
Well, we need to know, Marcy. Big decisions depend on it.
Are you trying to take me away from my mother?
I'm just trying to help.
I don't want to leave my mom. She does everything for me. I'll die without her.
I'm not trying to hurt you. Just trying to help.
And why'd you tell her she couldn't see me? She's my mother. She needs to be with me.
Well, Marcy, it's a complicated situation. And... Who told you that?
What?
That I wouldn't let your mother see you? Did your mother tell you that? When did she tell you?
She gave me the ice.
My God, she puts the drug in the ice.
Judge Gray, I'm not certain the girl's memories can be trusted, given that she suffered so many seizures.
It's a good argument for appeal, Mr. Morton.
Is it over? Can I go in now? Can I see Marcy?
No, Mrs. Noble, you cannot. I'm granting an OTC pending a criminal investigation.
Oh, my God. This isn't happening.
Just save the histrionics for the cameras, Mrs. Noble.
You're a mother. How can you deny
Yeah, I'm a mother. You're lucky that has nothing to do with my judgment. You're lucky I have to be objective.
So you're married?
Yes,
And your husband?
is away. All the time.
Really?
Yes. And I'm going to law school at night, so you'll probably never even see me around here.
Huh.
I'm a very, clean and private person, Vincent. And since I have a wheat, lactose, and gluten sensitivity, my diet is very restricted. So you'll never find me stealing your food.
Oh, well, good.
This apartment's really quite spacious. How do you feel about cats?
I'm against him.
Wonderful. I have an allergy to cat dander. You should see me 10 minutes in the same building with a cat. My face swells up like a basketball.
Well, that won't be a problem. So, Miss, Kozlowski Pant.
Oh, Donna, please.
Donna, I think this could work out.
That'd be great. Really desperate to get out of my current situation. This apartment isn't far from work.
Now, where do you work?
Hartford County Courthouse. I'm a court clerk. I got your name off of the bulletin board there.
Maybe you know my sister, Amy Gray. She's a judge there.
Oh, my God. You're Judge Gray's brother? I work for Judge Gray.
Wow. That's weird. Small world, huh? So, when do you think you could move in?
Okay, wait.
What?
I couldn't possibly become your roommate without Judge Gray's approval.
Why?
I don't know. Could be a conflict of interest or something.
Donna, I really don't think that Amy would care where you live.
Couldn't take the chance. I mean, Judge Gray is my mentor. If this would make her uncomfortable, I absolutely couldn't do it.
So none of the computers were stolen?
Well, not that we could find.
Then there are no criminal charges against me at all?
Not that we can find.
Then there's no reason to send me to a secure facility.
Mr. Acosta, that's for me to decide.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we're not arguing that Mr. Acosta has to be locked up because he's a criminal. We're arguing that he should be assigned to a secure setting where he can't run away and live in abandoned warehouses.
Your Honor, I would like to call Maxine Gray to the stand.
Oh, hell.
Consider yourself sworn in.
What do you see when you look at me, Miss Gray?
A very intelligent boy in danger of ruining his life.
How intelligent?
I think the ruining his life part of that sentence is more pertinent.
Have you ever met anyone as smart as me?
No.
I taught myself to read. I taught myself to fix computers. I've taught myself everything all my life. Now, can you find one reason why I couldn't teach myself to live alone?
You mean, earn a living, pay the bills, stay clean? Yes, you could do all of that. But you're still a complete idiot when it comes to life.
Hey, objection.
Which is all right. 15-year-old boys are supposed to be idiots. There are things you don't understand. Things that come not from intelligence, but from experience.
Name one.
One? Social skills, for example? He has a mouth on him.
I'm not going to be learning much about social skills in jail now, am I?
Long Lane is not a jail, Your Honor.
Well, Ms. Lemieux, you can dance around the semantics all you want. When you're locked up, it's jail.
Miss Gray, you're experienced. What do you think I should do with him?
I did have one idea, but it's a long shot. Bright Horizons is a residential program, college prep.
Forget it.
You'd have your own place.
Why is it a long shot?
Oh, waiting lists, admissions requirements. It would have to be a unanimous recommendation. Your Honor, Mr. Burroughs, Ms. Lemieux, myself, and, of course, my supervisor.
Maxine, make it happen.
So I thought you'd be interested to know the criminal division has issued a warrant on Emily Noble's arrest.
I hope they bury her into the jail.
What about the presumption of innocence?
I'll leave that to the jury. You know where I stand.
Judge Gray.
Don't go away. Stuart?
I guess you heard.
What?
Judge Jackson upheld your verdict. My appeal was denied.
When?
This morning?
Huh. Well, I guess I was thinking about more important matters.
Congratulations.
You don't mean that.
Well, the upside is you don't have to hate me.
Not for the appeal, anyway.
Look, now that all this is over, can I take you out to dinner?
You're asking me out?
For dinner.
Why?
Because I appreciate a worthy opponent.
Stuart, the judge is not the opponent. The opposing counsel is. And besides, it's professionally unsound.
Well, you said it yourself. We're in different divisions. There's no conflict of interest.
But I don't even like you.
I bet I can change your mind.
Okay, I know what this is. I didn't let you get away with anything in my courtroom, and then you were unable to overturn my ruling. Your male ego's hurt, and now you want to compensate by turning me into a girl.
That's ridiculous. I'm fully aware that you're a formidable woman.
Well, let me put it this way. I'd rather lick my floors clean than have one drink with you.
And what was that about?
My verdict stands.
Congratulations. Anything else?
Yeah. You asked me out.
And you said no.
Bruce, what do you think?
Good.
Donna.
Judge Gray?
What are you doing here?
Judge Gray, Vincent and I are here to ask your permission to live together.
What?
Donna feels like she needs your seal of approval to be my roommate.
You're your roommate? Donna's going to be your roommate?
I saw the notice at work on the bulletin board. I had no idea he was your brother, Judge Gray. I swear.
You don't need my approval, Donna.
That's what I said.
I mean, it's a free country. Do what you want.
It wouldn't bother you?
No.
Well, good then. Let's have some champagne. I've already approved of Donna, and I heard a rumor that someone's verdict was upheld.
Oh, wow. That's great. I'm so not surprised.
Congratulations, Amy.
Yeah, congratulations.
Oh, can I make the speech?
Of course. Go ahead.
Some people believe that before we're born, when we're still in spirit form, we make a deal with the universe, choose the families we're born into. We have different reasons based on the lessons we need to learn. I'm not sure what I was thinking when I chose mine, but it's obvious why Judge Gray chose hers. I'm just really glad I could be a part of it. God bless us, everyone.
Amen. That's lucky.
When the heat lightning cracks the shadows,
perhaps shadows.
In the calm of the wind, blows the breeze down your street. You're killing open your eyes and remember forever. And what is forever? But a good hard glance at what's happening now.
have Yolanda, Evelyn, and Kelly Blair. See, we finally have all the parties assembled. I knew it was possible, even with flu season and multiple scheduling conflicts. Mr. Huebner, why don't you kick us off?
Thank you, Your Honor. DCF got involved with the Blair family 3 years ago when Janice Blair was arrested for child abuse and possession of narcotics. Since then, Yolanda, Evelyn, and Kelly have been in and out of foster care, and it seems that we now have a situation.
But I'm in the middle of a neglect
Sorry, it's Judge Artel's orders. You gotta go. Grab your things. Let's go.
What is this? What's going on?
Mr. Cronith has a hearing in Department 5.
Mr. Cronith has a hearing here.
Sorry, Judge Gray. Let's go. Go with me. He's not too happy right now.
5-minute recess.
Yeah. God, this is outrageous. Can he just do this?
You just did. Bruce Van Exel, Judge Gray, CSO. She needs to talk to him.
I used to work for Judge Artel. He picks his nose on the bench.
I see. He's on the bench.
Picking his nose, no doubt. Yeah, this is Judge Gray. What's an emergency? Mm-hmm. You tell him I need to talk to him right away. He's in session. He won't talk to me. Come on, Bruce. I'm gonna pay a little visit to Judge Artel.
You go, girl! I mean, Judge Gray.
How dare you disrupt my courtroom?
He dares because he's criminal court and you're juvenile in the family.
So?
You ever notice that we're the bastard stepchild of the state court system?
See about that.
So it could not possibly have been my client who accosted Mrs. Grayson. At the time of the attack, he was attending his son's bar mitzvah.
Excuse me, Your Honor. A moment.
Who are you? This is Judge Gray, Your Honor, Department C.
So, it could not...
You disrupted my courtroom, and I would like to know why.
Mr. Cronith represents a defendant in an aggravated assault case. He was scheduled to appear in my court before me this morning for trial. Now, I cannot run my court with the defense attorney downstairs in some neglect case.
The lives of 3 children are at stake, Judge Artel, and Mr. Cronith was scheduled to appear in my court.
Well, I'm sure you can reschedule your hearing for some other time, my dear. This arraignment will not wait.
Well, neither can these children. I am a Superior Court judge. Not only have you disrespected me and my court, but you're being arrogant and incredibly short-sighted. If I don't take care of these kids and their problem today, they're going to be your problem tomorrow. Let's go.
I wouldn't if I were you, Mr. Corwin.
Now, unless you want to be found in contempt.
Which is exactly what's going to happen to you if you leave this courtroom.
I don't think so.
I do.
I've issued a protective order holding you in my session. So you're mine, Mr. Cronith.
Judge Brooks will hear about this.
I'll make sure he gets a copy of the order. Here.
Pond froze last night.
What are you looking at?
The Schellenberger's trash cans.
Oh.
Now that the flowers are dead, all I can see is the trash cans.
Mommy, when are we gonna get my butterfly costume?
Tomorrow night, after work.
That's what you said yesterday.
Lauren, I'll get you the costume, okay?
It's going to be a cold winter. I hope my Betty Pryors make it.
What's a Betty Pryor?
A rose. It's pink. I'm not sure I got them into the ground soon enough. Lauren, no bowl of sugar needs that much cereal in it.
I'm so tired. Maybe I should start taking some vitamins.
Try getting some sleep. That might help.
Yeah, Lauren, I'm taking a shower.
Eat fast. We gotta leave early. The roads are gonna be terrible.
try to make us seem sort of warm and friendly.
But of substantial means. No girl's gonna give us her baby if she doesn't think we can support it and put it through college.
Honey, that was the problem with our last letter. It sounded like a corporate report.
But honey, we've got to find a way to stand out, and one of our assets is our financial stability.
Here's a thought. How about we just write an honest account of who you are and how you feel about being parents? Okay. How about this? Dear birth mother, our dream has always been to have a child. Despite the material comforts of our life, we feel we're missing something essential.
That's better.
Hello.
Donna, hey, this is my brother and sister-in-law, Peter and Jillian Gray.
Donna Kozlowski-Pant.
Hi.
Hi. Nice to meet you. I'm a big fan of your whole family.
How's your weekend?
Great.
And Oscar is?
Fine. Well, I better go get ready for work.
She's the woman who married that guy who hacked his mother to death?
Yep. Went to visit him this weekend.
Are you still going to sobriety meetings every day? No. It's got to be every day, Mr. Levin. We discussed that.
Thanks.
Well, I want to hear from you next week.
Do you have a medical requisition form? I've got a kid who's lost his glasses. He can't see without them.
Why don't you give him one of yours?
What?
Maxine, you got a pair on your head and one around your neck.
I spent half an hour looking for these.
Here you go.
Thanks.
Good afternoon, ladies. Bad news. Jeff Gilbert just quit. We won't be able to replace him for 6 months.
Oh, no.
I have 35 cases already. Now you have 40. Oh, this one needs attention immediately. 11-year-old boy picked up for arson 3 days ago, been in detention ever since. Won't give anyone his real name. You need to get down there.
Susie, I can barely take care of my cases as it is.
Well, Maxine, you're just going to have to cut back on those extra helpful little things you do for your clients. Stick to the bare minimum. Jane, I really would like to talk to you.
What extra helpful little things?
You know, home visits, parental assessments, meeting your clients face to face.
What is a grandmother? I'll tell you what she is. She's somebody who still has to work.
Your Honor, Seth Reynolds' fourth grade physical education teacher reported seeing welts on Seth's legs 2 months ago. When he asked Seth what they were, Seth said that they were the result of a spanking that he'd received from his father the day before. The teacher reported this to DCF, and DCF investigated.
When I spoke to Seth's father, Dr. Brent Reynolds, he readily admitted to having hit the boy with his belt and said that it was his usual form of discipline.
Your Honor, since when has spanking been against the law? And who is DCF to tell parents how to discipline their children?
Your Honor, may I say something?
Please.
I'm a physician. I know the difference between a spanking and child abuse. This whole thing's ridiculous. I love my son. I would never hurt him.
Miss Feinberg, you said the reports indicated there were welts on the boy?
The teacher reported them, but they disappeared by the time we investigated, so I didn't actually see them.
This all seems a little thin to me, Mr. McDermott.
We're not requesting a change of custody, Your Honor. However, we're concerned that the petition be issued and that parenting issues be addressed in this family.
Look, I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I occasionally spank Seth with the soft end of a belt, and only when he's fully clothed. It is not an act of anger. It is a reasoned response to bad behavior.
We contend that Dr. Reynolds' form of discipline is protected by his constitutional right to freedom of religion.
Oh, really? And how's that?
It's our argument that corporal punishment is an act of love, sanctioned by the Bible. Spare the rod, spoil the child.
Well, the Bible also says if your right hand offends you, cut it off. A literal interpretation of the Bible can be a dangerous thing.
Your Honor, my son is very well adjusted. He's a straight-A student. I make a good income, and I've never so much as had a traffic ticket. Why the heck am I here?
You are alleged to have abused your child, Dr. Reynolds. I'm going to appoint a court investigator to talk to all parties involved and report back to me tomorrow. If possible, I'd like to hear from the child, so if you could make the appropriate arrangements, Mr. McDermott.
Yes, sir.
Next case.
He's been in here 3 days. He gave the police a false name. We have no idea who he is. No missing kid report. Big surprise. We don't know what to do with him.
You can't keep him in here indefinitely.
That's where you come in.
Yeah.
And good luck. Wu Tang. This is your social worker, Maxine Gray. Have fun.
Wu-Tang, that's an interesting name. I've wanted to change my name on occasion. Between you and me, I've always hated my name. I tried to get people to call me Maxie for a while, but it never really caught on. Why aren't you telling anyone your real name? If I was to hazard a guess, I'd say it's maybe because you don't want to go home.
You don't know nothing.
If you're having a problem at home, I can help. But you're not going anywhere until we find out who you are. The judge will see to that. Let me try to help. I know you're scared.
Don't touch me! Do not touch me! Let me out! Let me out! Let me out!
Are you... Get the boy.
Ma? Ma?
Amy, what's wrong?
It's 7:30. You okay? You sick?
7:30. Oh, God, I must have forgot to put the alarm on.
Well, there's a call for you, a Mrs. Rappaport from detention she's holding. Ah!
What?
What is that?
What?
On your cheek, is that a bruise?
I got up to go to the bathroom and walked into the bedpost. It's nothing.
It's terrible. Get you some ice for it.
Maxine Gray.
Jim, this morning we're dealing with primarily a sleet storm now in Albany and the surrounding area. In fact, Albany has the coldest temperature in the entire state, and the main reason for that is we're sitting in a valley that's very cold, dense air. It's just sitting here, nothing to scour it out, so we don't think temperatures are going to get near.
Cold front's coming in. Saw it on the Weather Channel. Might even snow. Snowing in Albany.
There's a snake around your neck.
Oh, yeah. This is Chuck. He's a red-tailed boa.
Did I know that you had a snake?
Probably not.
Does your dad hit you, Seth?
No.
Seth, it's okay to tell me the truth.
He spanks me sometimes when I'm bad.
Does he hit you with an open hand or a closed hand?
With an open hand. Or if I really mess up with a belt.
How often does that happen?
I don't know. A couple times a week. If I don't behave myself in school. Or smart talk my mom, or I hit my sister. Stuff like that.
Does the spanking leave marks on you?
Sometimes. Red ones, but they go away. He only spanks me when he has to. I'm very strong-willed.
Do the spankings hurt?
The belt does.
Do you cry?
I try not to.
And what happens afterwards?
He tells me he loves me.
Yes, my brother. Thinks he's bad. Likes to be called Wu-Tang. That's CJ.
How old is CJ?
I don't know. 11, 12. When exactly be having birthday parties at my house? There's 7 of us.
And nobody noticed he was missing?
CJ always missing.
You were arrested for assault and battery, and it says here you haven't been to school in 3 months. Where are your parents?
Older sister took care of us most of the time. Me and her got in a fight. Messed up pretty bad. She threw us out the house.
Where have you and CJ been staying?
Here and there. Sometimes we stay with friends. Sometimes we stay in the park. It gets pretty cold in the park.
Okay, Tasha, we're gonna find you and CJ someplace to stay.
What about here? I've been here before. I like it.
This is just a temporary facility. I think we can do better than this. According to the psych evaluation, Tasha shows the beginning stages of schizophrenia. CJ was diagnosed with oppositional defiance disorder.
Which means he's an adolescent.
No, these kids are really damaged, Susie. CJ has everything going against him. Suicide attempts, arrest for arson, a sexual assault charge pending.
Sexual assault.
He was discovered having unwanted sexual relations with an unwilling neighbor girl, age 8.
Well, that'll make him an easy placement.
No, I have located the grandmother. I'm hoping to place them there.
Maxine, what do you want from me?
I need to go and talk to the grandmother, and it might put me a little behind.
Use the phone.
All I have is an address.
Maxine, you have to learn how to prioritize.
Prioritize?
Maybe 10 years ago, you could do things at a leisurely pace.
10 years ago, this department was about taking care of children. And 10 years ago, I would have fired somebody like you, Miss Nixon. Thank you.
You're welcome. You know, I used to take care of them. They all lived with me. But it just got so I couldn't control them. The mother and her drugs, she pretty much left them high and dry.
Do you think, with some aid, that you could take care of Tasha and CJ?
Well, I could look in on them every now and then.
Miss Kettler, they need more than someone to look in on them. They're children. They need a full-time parent or two.
Well, I can't have children here.
I understand. But your grandchildren are in a detention facility. Are there any relatives, anyone that you can think of that might be willing to care for them?
They have a father out there somewhere.
What's his name?
Jerry something.
Well, thank you for your time, Miss Kettler.
Be sure and give him my love now.
I'm sorry, Maxine, but there aren't any beds. There are only 2 locked psychiatric facilities in the entire state that even accept kids.
Fine, let's go outside the state then.
We're not going to find anything, especially after the holidays.
You did the evaluation, Ernie. You're the one who says they need inpatient care.
Yeah, I know, but at least half the kids in detention need inpatient care. That doesn't mean they're going to get it. Oh, Lord, I guess I could put them on a waiting list.
They can't wait. They have nowhere to live. They're sleeping in the park. I can't place them in a foster home or group home because of their violent behavior.
I have at least 33 cases that are just as pressing, Maxine. I don't know what to tell you.
Tell me you're going to find them a bed.
I can't.
Just a moment. For heaven's sake, these are 2 screwed up, crazy kids, and no one gives a damn about them. Now, I know they're not very appealing. A 10-year-old sexual predator who sets fires and his violent sister are never going to be foster care poster children. But they need help.
Maxine, you have your cases, I have mine.
I am so sick of the numbing indifference of this system. I'm not leaving this damn office until you do something.
All right.
All right, what?
All right. I'll find you a bed.
2 beds in the same facility.
All right. I'm sure everyone has a copy of the investigator's report. He's recommending that a clinical parenting assessment of the Reynolds be undertaken and that Dr. Reynolds be referred to parenting classes. Having read the report and having spoken to Seth myself, I'm adopting these recommendations. I'm giving Dr. Reynolds the opportunity to comply with the plan. If he attends the classes, I'm confident that this matter will be over in a few months.
This is outrageous, Your Honor. The state has no business telling parents whether they can or can't spank, and you know that. This is a violation of my client's constitutional rights.
And on the contrary, Mr. Sweet, the Constitution does not protect parental discipline that threatens the well-being of a child. It is my belief that there is a real risk that this practice could lead to serious injury.
May I speak?
Of course.
I'm sure you're well-intentioned, Your Honor, but I have to respectfully disagree. I don't believe that I can or will comply with this plan.
Well, I'm not asking you to, Dr. Reynolds. I'm ordering you.
And I am respectfully refusing to comply. He's my child. I can raise him however I wish.
Dr. Reynolds, I want to be clear that these are the conditions of your continued legal and physical custody of your son.
What? I don't understand.
If you do not go to these classes, I will remove Seth from your home, and I will place him with a relative or with DCF. I urge you to consider your decision carefully.
Your Honor, I've evaluated CJ and Tasha Kettler. They have a history of suicidally acting out. In my opinion, if they're left in the detention facility, there's a real danger they'll decompensate. They are currently a threat to themselves by reason of their mental illness.
Your Honor, if I may, Dr. Wolfson and I have found 2 beds at Lakeview in New London. It's a locked hospital facility, and this has been cleared with our insurance provider. We're asking you to commit the children to this hospital for a period of not more than 10 days to determine whether further hospitalization will be necessary.
I ain't going to no hospital.
You may not want to go to a hospital, son, but you need to so someone can look after you. You need help.
They just give me meds. That's all they do.
There are doctors there who'll take good care
I
of
sure
you.
as hell ain't taking no meds.
I'm going to approve this order. CJ and Tasha Kettler are committed to Lakeview Hospital to determine whether they are dangerous to themselves or others by reason of mental illness. Next case.
Get off me. I ain't taking no meds.
Calm down.
Get off me. I just want to go home. Can I go home? Leave me alone. I just want to go home. Leave me alone.
I'm out of here. I gotta pick up Lauren at school.
Wait. You want to in Judge Brooks' chambers.
I don't believe this.
Come in.
Judge Brooks,
Judge Gray.
there are some things we need to talk about. For starters, just because I deal with juveniles does not mean that my courtroom should not be afforded the same respect as Judge Artel's.
Well, I agree.
You do?
And when Norman told me about your encounter, I was sympathetic. Please, have a seat, Judge Gray.
I admit I was outraged at your audacity. But the more I thought about it, the more I was impressed with your chutzpah.
Really?
Yeah.
Norman was so impressed, he suggested our criminal division could benefit from your passion and spunk.
I don't understand.
Judge Pilkington is due to retire at the end of this month, which means there'll be an opening in his courtroom. How'd you like to be the one to fill it?
You mean permanently?
All of our appointments are for at least a year.
And why would I want to do that?
The criminal department is a big step up from kiddie court. No, it has more stature. Lawyers are better. You'll be doing jury trials.
Well, I'm flattered. I think. It's just all a little sudden.
It's the difference between doing social work and embarking on a serious judicial career. It's up to you.
We're closing.
Well, good. We're here just in time, then.
What do you need?
My daughter is in Miss Twombly's class at DanceWorks. We're here to pick up the costume for the recital.
Butterfly or ladybug?
Butterfly.
Size?
6.
I want to be a ballerina dancer when I grow up.
Really? I thought you wanted to be a doctor or a judge.
You know, ballerinas get to wear all the cool clothes.
Yeah, you got a point.
Sorry, there are no more blue butterflies.
What?
Sold the last one a week ago.
They don't have any more?
Come on, you have to have enough costumes for all the butterflies in the class.
Stock varies.
I knew it! I told you, Mommy! I told you we had to get that costume! Now I can't be in the recital!
Look, is there any way you could order another one for me? I'll pay extra for the shipping.
Take 6 weeks.
Well, this is ridiculous. There's got to be something we can do. Do you have any costumes that kind of look like a blue butterfly?
Nope. But you could make one yourself. There's a costume pattern for it.
Make it.
Mom, the oven timer went off!
What's she doing out there?
I don't know. She's obsessed with her garden lately. Has something to do with the Schellenberger's trash cans.
This isn't the same color as everyone else's costume.
Well, it's close enough.
You know that Donna has a snake?
A real snake?
Yeah, one that eats real live rats. Its name is Chuck.
I told you to get it last week.
I told you I was sorry, Lauren. It's gonna be fine.
No, it's not. You don't know how to sew. You won't do a good job.
She's punishing me.
She eats tuna out of the can for breakfast. Oh. Donna. She's obsessed with the Weather Channel. Talks about it incessantly.
Well, at least we'll know what to wear.
I don't think it's gonna work out.
You're on your own with this one, Vincent. Put the fabric back, please. I'm thinking of pulling out the old sugar maple. It's looking bent, a little tired.
Why do you always forget everything?
Oh, Lauren, I mean it. I'm thinking about putting in some Andromeda and Lenten roses. Just round the border. Ma, can we just not talk about the garden right now?
That's all right. I'm interested in my garden. You don't have to be.
Mom?
In the kitchen.
Mom? Everybody? This is Evie.
Hi. Evie is considering us as adoptive parents for her baby.
Oh. Well, isn't that nice?
Yeah, I really like the letter that they wrote. She especially liked the whole extended family thing, so we brought her by kind of spur of the moment.
Lauren. Would you like to stay for supper?
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
You're a bad mommy and I hate you. You ruined my life.
Lauren! That's it. You go to your room right now.
Good.
And you stay up there. I don't want to hear from you the rest of the night!
Good.
Hey, none of you have children. Try it sometime. Let me know how well you do.
Welcome to the family, Evie.
Lauren, I told you I was sorry about the costume, and I was wrong to yell at you, but you have to understand something. I am not your servant. I am a human being, and you are not allowed to talk to me like that ever. I am your mother. No matter how wrong or bad you think I am, you have to treat me with respect, just like I treat you with respect. I don't call you names or say mean things to you.
Dress rehearsal is tomorrow, and I'll be the only one without a costume.
No, you won't. I'm going to make it for you tonight, if you stop whining. You know, there are kids out there who don't know what a dance class is.
But it's gonna look different.
No, it's not. It's gonna look the same. I promise.
But you always promise stuff. You promised you would order the costume last week. You promised you would drive for the museum field trip.
I do the best I can, Lauren. I am not perfect. But I'm the only mom you got, so live with it.
So when are you due? Evie.
I'll get it.
21st.
Oh?
Evie had an ultrasound last week.
We need to talk.
Just going to the living room.
Must be interesting.
Be in a minute.
Does the father of your baby know that you're planning to give him up?
Mother?
Maxine, well, somebody has to ask that question.
What's up?
That's great. Look, I thought we had the type of relationship where you can tell me the truth.
What are you talking about?
I hear you're going to the criminal court.
Oh, really? And that's why you felt compelled to come to my house at 8 o'clock at night?
Look, I just wanted you to know that I'm not going with you. I don't do criminal courts. I can see where it might be more appealing to you, career-wise. But you have to do it without me. I'm sorry.
You came all the way over here just to tell me that?
I sure in the hell did. I mean, No, never mind.
Bruce. I haven't made up my mind yet. Naturally, I would have talked to you before I made a move.
I appreciate that.
Just out of curiosity, why wouldn't you consider working in criminal court?
This is the area of law I chose. I thought you felt the same way.
I was assigned to juvenile matters as a new judge. I never had a choice.
You have a choice now.
Is the coast clear?
Vincent said we made quite a first impression.
Well, the whole thing was absurd. Auditioning to be someone's family.
Well, what's absurd about it? It happens all the time.
There's something wrong with it. All those unattached children floating around out there. It would be easier if you cut it all out first.
It's fine, Ma.
You're just starting this now. It's 10 o'clock.
Well, I promised Lauren I'd do it.
When was the last time you sewed anything?
8th grade. Home ec. I made a halter top. How hard can it be? I can read directions.
All right. Okay, I'll do it.
I don't want you to do it.
It's going to take you all night. I can just whip it up in an hour.
I'd like to do it myself. It's kind of fun.
Well, it's not going to be fun when it looks terrible.
Well, it's not going to look terrible.
Why won't you let me help you?
Because I don't need your help. Ma, I've had a tough day, and it's going to be a long night. So I'd really appreciate it if you weren't standing there criticizing my sewing skills.
Oh, I'm sorry you had a tough day, Amy. But you know something? So did I.
I'm sorry, Ma. I know you were trying to help.
It's just become too damn hard.
What?
Everything. Life. The job, the people. It's harder than it used to be. And I don't mind saying that. Too many cases and too much unhappiness. People are rude. Nothing works. Nobody cares. The job hurts more than it used to. And I'm tired. And maybe I shouldn't be doing it anymore.
That's ridiculous. Of course you should. It's always been this way.
Amy, you have been doing this job for 3 minutes. You have no idea what I'm talking about.
That's right, I forgot. I just sit in the court all day working my butt off for families and children, but I really don't know anything.
I'm sure you're a fine judge.
Yeah, I am. I'm a damn good judge. And if you came to my court, you'd see what I do every day. But you don't come. You've never even seen me on the bench. Not once.
You have never invited me.
I shouldn't have to invite you. I am sorry that you've had a bad day, but it's a little hard to come home and listen to this after I've had to slog through it myself all day. It doesn't make me feel any better about what I do.
It's not my job to make you feel better. Amy, what are you doing out here?
Trying to wake up.
Her costume is beautiful.
Thanks. I just finished it. I had to rip out and resew that waistband 3 times to get it straight. It's still not perfect.
Nothing's perfect.
I've been thinking about this sugar maple. I don't think you should get rid of it.
No?
I mean, sure, it's bent and overgrown, but it's been through a lot. It's where Daddy hung the swing. Peter had his clubhouse there. It's part of his family.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do.
Well, maybe you're right. Let's get some coffee.
Mm-hmm. Mom.
Yeah?
What do you think about spanking?
I think you're a little old for it now.
Seriously.
Love and hitting are antithetical in my book. Of course, that's just me.
You can't quit your job, Ma.
I can do anything I want, thank you.
Kids would suffer if you weren't there.
Oh, kids suffer whether I'm there or not.
Ma. Every day when I was growing up, I watched you. I knew you were doing something important. And now every day, when I'm on the bench fighting for kids. It's because of you. No other reason. Yeah, it's harder now. It's a harder world. It just means we have to fight harder. That's all.
Moderate to at least heavy snowfall. It really has been coming down in a very, very short period of time. At 6 o'clock this morning,
Donna, we really have to talk. I'm having second. Donna? Donna!
What?
Oh, no, then never mind. No, I can wait. You okay?
Fine.
Really?
No, not really. Vincent, I'm a failure as a wife.
Already?
I lied. Our first conjugal visit wasn't so great. In fact, Oscar, he didn't... It would...
No, I get the picture. You know, Amy is really good at this sort of thing. Maybe you should talk to
Oh, I couldn't talk to Judge Gray. She's my mentor, my boss. Anyway, what is there to say? I don't rev Oscar's engine.
Donna, this kind of thing happens to guys all the time.
Really?
I mean, look at Oscar. The guy hasn't had sex in what? In years. That's a lot of pressure.
I guess.
Next time, he'll probably be fine.
What if he's never able to? Can you have a fulfilling relationship with someone you can't have sex with?
Well, some people have done it. Members of the royal family, for instance.
Has it ever happened to you, Vincent? I mean, not being able to, you know.
The point is, it's entirely normal. A man is not a machine.
But you, has it ever happened to you? I mean, you're the kind of guy who sees lots of girlfriends. If you're saying it's happened to you, that would sure make me feel a lot better.
Okay, just between us. Yeah, it has happened to me. Once. Had a little bit too much to drink, and, well, you know, we, that's not important. The important thing is it's not a big deal.
Thank you, Vincent. I really feel we've shared something here.
Yeah, me too.
Are you certain you've given this your full consideration?
Yes, I am.
It's not how careers are made. Besides, if the current trend continues, juvenile court may not even exist in 5 years.
Well, I think that would be a big mistake.
Amy, to be perfectly frank, you were assigned to juvenile matters because it's a job no one wants.
Well, I think I do want it. Yeah, it's kiddie court. And they're just children. But they're also potential adults. Kids are kids for such a short time, and then they're adults forever. Sometimes I see them before it's too late. In criminal court, it's always going to be too late.
I can't promise you that a chance like this will come along again, Judge Gray.
Well, it's a risk I'll have to take.
All rise.
is the coat section you were looking for. By the way, I'm glad you're staying.
Dr. Reynolds, have you made up your mind? Are you going to comply with my order to attend parenting classes or risk losing custody of your child?
Judge Gray, I've decided to comply with your order, but I must say, I resent very much the state's intrusion into what should be a private family matter. Given the climate of the times, however, I'm certainly not going to risk losing my child over some spurious definition of abuse. My wife, Jenny, and I are the best parents we know. And Seth is a wonderful kid, you know, and we take some credit for that. And as far as we're concerned, you can reason and cajole all you want. But a spanking is worth 1,000 words.
Dr. Reynolds, each year, 2,000 children die at the hands of their parents. Thousands more are permanently disabled. Maybe from your perspective, my mandate seems extreme. But every day I see children who have been seriously injured by their parents under the guise of discipline. I'm sure you believe you would never injure Seth. But what you did to your son would be considered battery had you done it to another adult. In our society, we are not allowed to go around willy-nilly hitting people unless there are children, and then we call it discipline. Under the 8th Amendment, we can't even take a strap to prison inmates, and yet there's no law against you hitting your son with a belt several times a week. He's 10 years old, and less than half your size. Think about that. What are you teaching him about love? You can't teach your child respect without respecting him. Our children are not our property, Dr. Reynolds, and I believe we as a society pay a heavy price for treating them as such. We have to do better. So this case is continued for review and determination of whether you've complied with my conditions of custody. Next case. That's my daughter. Invitations are out, RSVP's coming in. Vincent, you're doing music. Okay, so I'm gonna do balloons and food. You're gonna do cake?
Yes, cake. Look, just so you know, Jillian is upset that you hired a caterer. She really wanted to cook everything for Mom as her gift.
Look, I love Jillian, but the best gift she could give Mom is not cooking. No offense. Did you get the slides yet?
I get them tomorrow.
Okay, so we all have to be hiding when Mom comes in.
You know, most of the guests are going to be Mom's age or older. You really want to ask them to crouch behind the sofa?
Yeah, you got a point. Okay. No hiding. Wait, who's gonna get the mint chip ice cream? Mom loves that.
Not with cake. With cake, she just likes vanilla.
You've been spending too much time here.
Yeah, at least I don't live here.
Would you get mint chip and vanilla?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's right. See, this judge thing is not good for you. You're too bossy to begin with.
I'm just trying to make sure we do everything right. This is Mom we're talking about.
That's right. That's why I don't think we should be doing it.
Mom, hi.
I thought you would
If I had to listen to one more story about Dolores's cruise, you'd think the woman had never seen a buffet before. What are you doing here? Peter?
Just leaving, actually. Night, Mom.
No, hold on. I have something I want you to do for me.
What is it?
It's a living will.
What?
a living will. It just says I don't want any of you to go to any extra trouble keeping me alive if I should get hurt or sick.
Extra trouble?
Life support, artificial resuscitation, that sort of thing. You have to read, then sign at the bottom so that I know that you've comprehended it.
Mom, are you feeling all right? Is anything...
Oh, never better, actually.
This is ridiculous.
Well, maybe ridiculous to you, but it's my life and my death, if I so choose. Read it thoroughly, no skimming. That will be your present to me. And that's the last I want to hear about my birthday.
Don't stop.
Pedal!
Lauren! Lauren, you know how to ride a bike. You were just doing it. You gotta trust me on this one.
I don't want to do this anymore. Maybe bike riding isn't my kind of thing.
No, you wanted a two-wheeler for Christmas. You can't just change your mind.
Why?
Because it costs money.
You could sell it.
I'm sorry, sweetie. Bike riding is like swimming. It's not an optional thing. You gotta learn. Besides, it makes you feel good to learn new things.
No, it doesn't.
Lauren! I'm a terrible mother.
Yeah, but you look good.
I was trying to teach her how to ride a bike. I totally lost it. Turned into mom.
What, you told her that it was her civic duty? People in China built an entire society by riding bikes?
Okay, I didn't go that far. This is Michael's job.
It's a father thing. It's a little sexist, don't you think?
No. I promised her he'd do it. He keeps forgetting. He lives in New York City. He's gonna teach her how to hail a cab.
Maybe I could teach her.
Hey, go with God. Mom leave you?
Yeah, but not before getting me to sign the living will.
You signed it?
Yeah, of course I signed it. That's what she wants. Speaking of which...
No, don't say it. This party is exactly what she needs. She needs to be celebrating her life, not thinking about ending it, and it's our job to teach her that.
You think a piece of cake and a slideshow is gonna do that?
Yeah, I do.
Hey, come on. Peter signed it.
I'm not touching that thing. Come in. Hello, Donna.
Harbor? No thanks. I have another.
It's okay.
Okay, so here's what I found out. You can get regular old latex, which are round and come in a variety of colors, or you can get the fancy ones, which are silver and come in all different shapes. Silver ones are a bit more expensive. So, Judge Gray, what would you like?
Maybe I should just...
Balloons, Bruce. We're talking about balloons.
I know that. I just don't feel comfortable talking about it.
Let's go with the latex.
Really? You don't want the Mylar? They have cute little sayings on them.
How about a dozen of each?
Excellent. Oh, this is gonna be awesome. I can't wait to see the look on your mother's face when she walks in.
Anything else, Donna?
No, nothing. Thanks for letting me be a part of this, Judge Gray.
You're due back in court. Let's finish this at lunch.
Actually, I have a mediation at lunch.
Really? I don't see that on the docket. Which case is this?
My divorce.
Your Honor, the defendant is charged with auto theft, vehicular homicide, and leaving the scene of an accident.
This crime occurred when the defendant was 15. Mr. Thompson, you're a little late showing up.
Yes, Mr. Thompson aged out of the system 4 years ago and is now 20. We're requesting that he be tried as an adult and asking that he be held pending the hearing.
With all due respect, my client turned himself in as soon as he became aware of the charges. He's clearly not a flight risk and should be released on his own recognizance.
He turned himself in only after an accomplice gave him up as part of a plea bargain.
Why didn't you surrender yourself sooner, Mr. Thompson?
Your Honor, I was afraid. And I was just a kid. Not a day has gone by that I haven't thought about what I did. I was at a party. I guess I was a little drunk. There's this guy, Carl, who said he knew how to hotwire cars. So we found this Jeep, and I started driving. Faster than I should have. I thought I hit something, but I didn't know what. I wasn't even really sure I had. And Carl said that we should ditch the car, and we did. The next day, it was on the news. Some guy got killed in a hit and run. I know that I should have come forward and told someone, but I didn't know what would happen to me. And I was scared.
This is a good kid, Your Honor. He hadn't been in trouble before, and he certainly hasn't been since. He has a part-time job, he volunteers as a big brother, and he's on the dean's list at Harvard.
I'm not impressed, Mr. Ross. It's a college, not a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Your Honor, in light of Ken's rehabilitation, his obvious remorse, and his admirable admission here today, we're requesting that all charges be dismissed.
Well, this is a very serious crime, counsel. I can't simply dismiss the charges. I'm going to set another hearing for this tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Until then, Mr. Thompson is released.
Hello. Yes. You sent me a copy of your magazine, Retirement Living, and I never ordered it. No, I'm not interested. But I don't care if it's free. I have no use for it. Because I'm calling from work, that's why.
Are we still on for lunch this week? Because I want to take you out for your birthday.
For lunch is fine. For my birthday is not. And the same goes for office parties.
Maxine, you know we always celebrate.
Not mine. This department is overworked enough not to take the extra time to eat another piece of bad cake. Maxine Gray. I see. Where are they? How many and what are their names? All right. I'll be there.
What is it?
Parents going after each other during a child exchange. The police are on their way.
How many kids?
3. People can't be civilized for 1 minute for the sake of their own children.
You need some help?
Yes. Stay here, and if you hear anything about a party for me tomorrow, squelch it.
So, why did you choose mediation?
We have a daughter. We don't want to end up hating each other.
Yeah, we both want this to be as easy as possible.
Good. Let's start with division of property. Now, have you gone over your assets, stocks, bonds, personal possessions?
Gonna split everything we got together 50-50.
Except for that pewter urinal that your Aunt Grace gave us.
You mean the vase?
Well, she says it's a vase, but you can't put flowers in it.
You know you can. There was just no reason to.
Well, I want you to have that forever.
Thanks.
What's happening with the marital home?
We have an apartment in New York, which Amy moved out of with Lauren, and I'm still living there.
Mm-hmm. And if he ever decided to move?
We'll have to figure that out.
Good. What about spousal support?
I don't want it.
Lauren lives with you full-time?
Yes. All I'm really asking for is an increase in child support.
And this has been agreed to as well?
Not exactly.
Well, I'm not making nearly as much as I was before, and without Michael's salary, it's hard. I just want Lauren to have whatever she needs.
Okay. Obviously, this is another issue we'll explore further. Now, I'm assuming the custody arrangement is staying the same?
Yes.
Actually, I've thought about it, and I'd like to have more time with her.
More time? You miss half of your scheduled days with Lauren as it is.
Well, what is your current arrangement?
He's supposed to take her every other weekend, but it usually ends up being closer to once a month.
Well, I was hoping we could work out a more structured visitation agreement. Maybe alternate weeks.
That's ridiculous. She has school.
Well, it doesn't have to be that. I haven't really thought it out.
No, you haven't. You can't just change around your daughter's living arrangements on a whim.
I agree. So let's make it legal.
Why are you doing this?
Because, Amy, I miss her. I miss being her father.
You're a moral coward. Your kids are ashamed of you.
Because you have
calm down.
Man-hating, screeching witch!
Take a look at yourself, you sniveling worm of a man!
Yeah, and you're a manipulative bitch!
I can't believe you would do this in front of them!
Like I started
You
it.
did! They are not idiots, they can see it for themselves!
Just shut the hell up!
Knock it off!
I'm Maxine Gray, I'm DCF. If you're taking these parents, do it, please.
Don't take my mom. He started it.
See, now do you see what she has done to them?
I'm not leaving my baby!
Mrs. Lawler,
Please,
take it myself.
I'm gonna go with Dad.
No, you don't, Ted. No, you
Come on,
don't.
let's go.
My name is Maxine, and I'm a social worker. You must be Sally.
They won't let us go with our mom.
I know, sweetheart. I know you want to be with your mom right now, but I'm afraid you can't be for a little while.
Why not?
Well, your mom and dad are very angry at each other. But I'm going to take care of you until they work that out. How's that sound?
But he always starts it. No, he doesn't.
Listen. I know that this is not what you want to be doing, but we're going to make the best of it. I promise you. And I hope that that you can be with your parents again very soon.
Are they getting arrested?
The police just need to talk to them, that's all. Is anybody here hungry? Now, I can fix that right away. What are you hungry for?
Popsicle.
Popsicle. All right. We can find a popsicle. You got some things?
All parties are waiting for you in court. Are you okay?
I had to call a divorce lawyer today.
I thought you were doing mediation.
Michael wants more visitation.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh what?
I have a sister who went through this. It got ugly.
Well, I don't think Michael's going to do anything extreme, but when it comes to custody...
You can't take any chances.
Right. Your sister's case, how did it end up?
You should just concentrate on your own situation.
Your Honor, a few months ago, my client's ex-husband learned their daughter didn't want to be a doctor. Shortly after that, he stopped paying her tuition.
You're currently a sophomore at Amherst? Go ahead, Ellen. Answer her.
I was until a week ago. Now they won't let me back into class.
It's not only unfair, Your Honor, it's humiliating. Don't you even care about your own daughter anymore?
Mr. Keene, according to the original divorce decree, your client agreed to pay for his daughter's college education and medical school. Is that correct?
As Your Honor points out, the contract specifically says college and medical school. They're linked. Now, my client should not be required to pay for college if Miss Reeves has decided not to enter medical school. And furthermore, Mr. Reeves has no legal responsibility to support his daughter beyond the age of 18, other than the divorce decree, a contract he entered into voluntarily and based upon his understanding that she wanted to be a doctor.
She was 7 years old.
Your Honor, my client is an executive who travels all over the country to do his job. He relies very heavily on commissions.
Where are you going with this?
Well, I would like to...
I'm remarried, Your Honor, with 2 young sons. I'd like to cut back on my travel, which means significantly less income. Of course, I won't do that if Ellen wants to go to medical school, but if she's not going, I don't believe it's a sacrifice I should have to make.
All right. I'm going to need to see financial statements from both of you.
Your Honor, please, this is not a question of finances. It's a question of interpreting a divorce decree. And as such, my client should not be required to disclose his income.
Well, first of all, counsel, you brought up the issue of his earnings. But as you must know, ability to pay is always an issue in support matters. We'll meet again after I've had a chance to go over the statements.
No, you may not put me on hold. I need to speak to Linda Farrell now. I see. Never mind. Well, it seems your Aunt Linda is still on vacation.
I don't like her anyways. She smells bad.
Well, then it's a good thing that she's out of town. Is there anybody else that you ever stay with?
Grammy.
Grammy?
Grammy lives in Virginia, stupid.
Well, that's not stupid. It's just, it's a little too far.
We could stay with you.
And I would be happy to have you. All 3 of you. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed.
Because you're too old?
No.
I'm never getting old. Or married. Me neither. Me neither.
I suppose.
My client is in no way challenging Miss Gray's status as the primary caretaker here.
In my experience, Roland,
When a lawyer uses the term my client, it means he's going for the jugular.
My client wants to spend
Oh,
more
well,
time.
and for God's sakes, use his name. Michael. They were married.
My client wants to spend more time with his daughter.
Well, he isn't using the time he has now.
Well, that'll change. I'm working half days, and the rest of the time I check in from home.
We'd like to reconsider summer break, holidays, and weekends.
Weekends? What weekends?
You get her all week.
All weekends?
3 out of 4.
In the summer.
I want to be reasonable about this, so why don't you use the time you have now, and if you want more, then we'll work it out.
You know, to be honest with you, I'm not comfortable with you dictating the terms. I get to have a say. I didn't even want this divorce.
Oh, really? Well, you moved in with somebody a month after I left, so you adjusted pretty quickly.
Can we all calm down here?
And as I recall, one of your original complaints was that I paid too much attention to Lauren. Does that sound like a devoted father?
Things are different now.
My client wants joint custody.
Joint physical custody? Michael, that is not at all what we discussed.
My client wants more input on the minor's major life decisions. Education, healthcare, religious upbringing.
You're an atheist. You don't have a religion. That's what atheist means, without a religion.
It's not just a religion, it's everything. I'm letting her live with
Letting
me.
her?
I just want to be more involved in her life.
We can talk about visitation. Otherwise, this meeting is over.
In that case, we'll be moving for joint custody.
In that case, my client and I will see you in court where I will be going for your jugular.
I'll fight you, Michael.
I was hoping it wouldn't be like this.
Oh, my God. No, that went really well, honey. We flushed them out in the open. Instead of them hiding behind that mealy-mouthed bull. We're okay. We're good. We're good. We're good.
That's it. Don't look down. Just look straight. Look at that. What do you think of that?
How'd you do that?
I don't know. We just kept trying.
Oh, why didn't I think of that?
Amy, she was gonna learn eventually. It just happened to be with me.
Well, you must have had some trick.
No, I didn't.
You just let go and she kept on riding?
Yep. Like, the point is, she can ride.
Look, Mommy, I can ride.
I see. That's great.
Uncle Vincent explained it better than you did.
No, I didn't. I really didn't.
No, it's all right. It's okay. I can't do everything. It's all right.
We're not here to figure out who was at fault yesterday.
He knows it makes me crazy when he brings that slut with him around my children.
Mrs. Lawler, you're out of order.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm up against all the time, Your Honor.
Now you're out of order. Either of you says anything else, it's going to cost you.
This is crazy. I can't believe this.
Muttering counts, Mrs. Lawler. That's going to cost you $100. That's $200 for you, Mr. Lawler. I'm looking for 3. Have I made my point? Ms. Gray, I understand you have a solution you'd like to present before the court?
My best solution isn't repeatable in open court, Your Honor.
Maxine, please, I'm on my last good nerve here.
Yes, Your Honor. It's become perfectly clear that these two parents are
Objection.
Oh, I find it very self-aware that they object to being called parents, Your Honor.
Maxine?
It's the way she said it, Your Honor.
Dripping with disdain.
I apologize for trotting out my dripping disdain, Your Honor. I was saying that the Lawlers are incapable of exchanging their children without becoming violent toward each other. Personally, I couldn't care less if they knock each other silly.
Objection!
Overruled.
There are children involved, and we can't have them exposed to this every time their parents are in the same room.
The point, Ms. Gray?
DCF is recommending that all future child exchanges be made at the Child Transfer Center under supervision.
Objection.
There's one at St. Paul's Episcopal Church on Farmers
Objection.
Avenue.
That's 45 minutes away from my house.
It's even farther from mine.
Far too onerous, Your Honor.
This puts a hardship on both parties.
If I may, Your Honor. The real victims of this kind of abusive behavior are the children.
Objection.
And if these two parents can't set aside their personal differences for the benefit of their children, well, then I don't see why they should be allowed to hang on to their children at all.
This is outrageous.
Oh, sit down. I am ordering these supervised transfers for 6 months, or until such time as you can demonstrate to the satisfaction of Ms. Maxine Gray that you can conduct these exchanges in a civilized manner.
Your Honor, usually a caseworker would be assigned to this type of follow-up.
But you have amply demonstrated how well you understand this case. You all have a good day.
If you spend enough time in these hallways, you're bound to pick up a few things. And a bag of chips and a candy bar is not lunch.
Well, if it bothers you so much, don't watch.
How'd it go this morning?
Stuffed his face with bagels while he told me he would let Lauren live with me if I give up weekends, summers, and holidays. He wants joint custody.
That bastard. This is not about Lauren. This is about Michael trying to control you.
Well, he claims he wants to be a better father.
Of course, he talks a good game.
But you like Michael.
Amy, he's trying to take your daughter away from you. Now, this is not the time to go soft.
Well, Mom...
Try and keep in mind that Michael has a talent for talking you out of your instincts.
He does?
And he insists on having his own way. Remember, he went on that 3-week camping trip when she was just an infant.
Well, that was prearranged.
Why are you defending him?
Maybe I think he's good at heart. And I believe I can reach that part of him again.
Amy, it's very hard to support you when you keep switching sides.
Ken has been Miguel's big brother for 3 years, since he was 9. After Miguel's father died, he got into a lot of trouble. Smoking, alcohol, skipping school, stealing. Ken stopped all that.
How is Miguel doing now?
He goes to school, his grades are better. He doesn't get into trouble anymore because he has a role model. Like Ken. Thank you, Mrs. Lopez. Please don't take Ken away, Your Honor. Miguel needs him. Mr. Reimers, I don't seem to have anyone listed here to speak on the victim's behalf.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Why is that?
Because there is no one. His name was Danny Taylor. He was 32 years old. His address at the time of his death was the Lighthouse Shelter. His blood alcohol level at the time of his death was .40. That is 5 times the legal maximum.
Mr. Reimers, which side of this case are you arguing?
Judge Gray, this is the United States of America.
Your Honor, does Mr. Reimers intend to call George Washington as a witness?
Lives are not quantifiable in the United States of America. We are all created equal. A fine, upstanding young man who attends Harvard and devotes his time to helping fatherless children is worth no more in the eyes of the law than a homeless man in the gutter. I shouldn't have to call any witnesses to bolster the worth of Danny Taylor's life. He was a man. He lived, and then he died. Because this man got drunk and stole a car and ran him over and then left him to die as though he were worth nothing.
Dinner, Michael, without lawyers. Yeah, I was thinking Connolly's. Certainly. I can wait while you check your calendar. Did you look at any of the financial statements in the Reeves case?
No,
The last 2 years are identical. 8. Could we make it 9? Because then I could put Lauren to bed. You would still be able to take the 1107 back into the city.
You mean comparable?
I mean indistinguishable. Okay. Let's make it 8 then. Because you have to control everything, Mr. Anal Retentive.
Wow, you can really multitask, can't you?
I'm a mom. Let's dispense some justice. Mr. Reeves, did you win the lottery last year?
No, Your Honor.
Well, your financial statement for this year is identical in every regard to your statement for the preceding year.
Your Honor, are you suggesting that my client is hiding something?
Yes. Mr. Reeves sold all his stock holdings last year, as well as the car and several personal items. He took out a second mortgage on the house. I'm suggesting that your client is hiding the fact that he's financially unstable. I think he's hiding the fact that he's unemployed.
Daddy?
It's true, Your Honor. I was laid off and didn't work for nearly a year. I'm back on track, but I depleted my savings. I didn't want Ellie to know that. I couldn't stand the thought of letting Ellie down.
Judge, can't we just forget this whole thing?
No, I'm afraid we can't. According to the records, Mr. Reeves still manages to send his 2 sons to Milton Academy, a private school whose tuition exceeds $10,000 a year per child.
Your Honor, Mr. Reeves is an alumnus of the school. It's a time-honored tradition.
Well, that may be. But Mr. Reeves is looking to relieve himself of certain financial obligations. He considers his daughter's college tuition to be an extravagance, while he considers his son's educations to be a necessity. That's not fair.
Please, don't make me choose between my children, Judge.
You're already doing that, Mr. Reeves, and I can't allow it. I understand you have a new family to support. We live in a world of multiple choices. But along with that come multiple responsibilities. This is a lifetime commitment. Your obligation to your daughter does not change with your circumstances. You have to be as good as your word. I will not modify this divorce decree. When you said you wanted to see more of Lauren, what I heard was that you wanted to take her away. And I freaked out. And I'm sorry for that.
Okay, good, because I don't want to take her away, I mean.
You want to be more involved in her life. And that's a good thing.
That's all I'm saying.
So if we can both agree to put Lauren first, then we can get through this. I just don't think it's good for her to be shuttled back and forth so much, that's all.
A couple more weekends.
And the holidays worry me because she's just started to adjust. So what if I took Easter and Christmas, you took 4th of July and Thanksgiving, and the rest we talk?
Christmas.
Oh, you hate Christmas, Michael.
Yeah, still, it's like I pay out all this money and I don't get to see the look on Lauren's face.
So it's about money?
Not at all. Except that, you know, I'm not going to be making what I'm making now forever. As you know, the turnover for currency traders is very high.
Well, I've never asked for alimony. I'm not about to start now.
There's the issue of child support. It's like Christmas. I pay out all this money, and I don't get the pleasure of seeing how it benefits Lauren.
Well, child support is not about paying to make you feel better, Michael.
Don't start moralizing, Amy. It's a legal issue.
It's our daughter, and I'm not going to barter with you.
Well, you will if a judge orders you to.
Well, any judge worth her salt would reprimand you for attaching money to custody. Why are you doing this?
Hey, you're the one who moved to Connecticut and cut her income. And now you want me to pay for it.
So you're mad at me and you're taking it out on Lauren? Well, that is despicable.
Not the issue.
You know what? I really think it is.
Listen, wait a minute. What are you doing?
I don't want to see your face anymore.
Amy!
The slides are in order. Don't worry.
Great. Mom is going to love this.
Amy, Mom has always hated her birthday. Why should this year be any different?
It's her 60th. It's a milestone. Why? You still think we should cancel?
Yep. Absolutely, without a doubt, we do think that.
No.
Well, so long as my opinion means something to you.
Since when do you wear a tie?
I got a meeting with my editor. And, Michael called. He wants to meet for a drink.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. I've known the guy since I was a kid. Amy, we have our own relationship.
Yeah. And now I'm in a huge custody battle with him.
You kidding me? I thought you worked that out.
No. And he's using you to get to me.
Come on, he's not that kind of guy.
You want to bet?
Look, Amy, this has nothing to do with you. Michael and I didn't have much of a chance to catch up over Thanksgiving. But there were times when I was closer to Michael than I was to Peter. He was interested in literature. He turned me on to Russell Banks.
He's showing off. That's what he does. You met him right after Dad died. You were looking for a hero.
Look, I'm not taking sides here. You're my sister.
Exactly. And if family doesn't stick by you, who will?
You want me to cancel? I'll cancel.
No, you do what you think is right.
So I'm guessing you have plans for your birthday tonight.
Yes, avoiding everyone.
Does that include me?
Well, that depends. Are you planning to sing?
Well, I just want to take you out for a drink, and if you don't like it, I promise I will not make you stay for dinner.
What kind of drinks?
Flamin' Bahama Mamas.
Okay. But I'm serious, Tanya. If you bring a present, I'm not even staying for the drink.
5 years ago, Ken Thompson did something he now regrets. We've heard a lot of testimony about what kind of a person Ken is. His academic accomplishments, his dedication as a big brother. And ever present in our minds is the fact that the victim was a man who did not contribute much to our society, a marginal citizen. During the 5 years since the accident, Mr. Thompson has turned from a reckless youth into a fine, upstanding young man. Perhaps too much of a fine, upstanding young man.
Your Honor.
In the past 5 years, Mr. Thompson has thrived. He hasn't looked back. He hasn't been in therapy. He has no addictions. He maintains relationships. In other words, he's come through this whole ordeal unscathed. This has been a very hard decision for me. It's a very seductive argument to let Mr. Thompson off the hook because his life is going in such a great direction. But I can't look forward. I have to look back to the last 5 years, during which every day Mr. Thompson decided that his future was more important than another man's life. I am remanding you to the custody of the criminal court to be tried and, if convicted, sentenced as an adult.
Get up, sir.
You really ought to move to the city, Vincent. It's much more your scene. You gotta get out of Hartford. You haven't been there since they built the Rock in the Ball. Seriously, if you're ready, I can help you find an apartment. You don't have to talk me into liking me, Michael. You got me today, let me drive your Porsche.
Well, that was to impress your sister. I guess those days are over.
Yeah, but things change. You guys are gonna get past this point.
I hope so. I've always felt two rational people could work things out without it getting ugly, but I don't know, I guess that's what divorce is. Ugly.
Yep. How's work? Whatever happened to that, the crazy assistant with the purple hair?
It's green now. I promoted her. She's one of our best traders.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm. So how serious do you think Amy is about all this?
She doesn't talk to me about it. To be perfectly honest, I try to keep out of it.
All I wanted to do was to spend more time with Lauren. And now she's threatening to take me to the cleaners. I don't think it's that unreasonable to want to be a part of your daughter's life. You know, and no matter what Amy thinks of me as a person, I'm still Lauren's father.
Michael, I can't be in the middle of this. I don't want to be.
I know. It's not your battle, but the whole thing has me confused.
Look, I've never been married. I haven't even been in a relationship for more than 6 months. I'm the wrong guy to ask about this.
You know what really gets me is the insinuation that she's the better parent. I have always been there for Lauren. She knows that.
Michael, come on.
What?
There are weekends you don't even show up.
Oh, are you going to start with me now?
And I'm the one who wants to teach her how to ride a bike.
Ah, congratulations. You know, you do the martyr thing as well as your sister.
This conversation is over. This is such a mistake.
Vincent, I'm sorry. I'm not the bad guy here. I'm just trying to be a good father.
Yeah, maybe you're not trying hard enough.
Well, Amy's not making it any easier. Why is she so angry? What is it? The new job? Living with your mother? What, is she sexually frustrated?
I told you I was the wrong guy to ask.
She could have called at least.
Amy, she was completely clear with you. She didn't want to party.
She ditched poor Tanya.
Tanya seemed happy to me.
Tanya was smashed on Bahama Mamas.
Am I the only one who's shocked by her behavior?
Yes.
Hello. Well, looks like you won this one, Mom.
I told you I didn't want to party.
Max and Ruth Nielsen drove 3 hours to get here.
Well, you must feel pretty bad putting them through that after I told you I didn't want a party.
It's all right, Amy. It was a good party.
Cut it out. Stop smearing happy jelly on everything.
Amy, I'm sorry I ruined your plans for my birthday,
But if it makes you feel any better, I did exactly as I wanted.
You know, I put a lot of time into this damn party. I hired a caterer, and I had a slideshow, and I see you skulking out, Peter.
Night, Mom.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Maxine.
birthday.
Thank you. Why doesn't anyone in this family back me up on this?
It was my birthday.
Mom, that's where you got it wrong. Because some things, like a 60th birthday, are bigger than the person. We love you. We wanted to celebrate it with you. We had a right to do that.
I'm tired. I'm going to bed.
Good night.
Not a word from you, traitor.
Hey, I already defended you once today.
What are you talking about?
I punched your ex-husband.
You what?
I think I split his lip.
Vincent.
I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. I mean, this is not gonna be good for the custody thing. It's just he was so smug and he was mouthing off.
You're not upset?
Shut up. Let me adore you.
I'm faking it. You can kiss me.
You're supposed to be asleep.
Is the party over?
Yeah. The bike lives in the garage, okay?
Okay. I can't wait to show Daddy that I can ride a bike. What do you think he'll say?
I think he'll say, "That's my girl."
Amy?
What?
Amy.
What, Ma? What's wrong?
You didn't read my living will.
You woke me up at 2 in the morning to tell me that.
I could have a stroke tonight.
Well, appealing as that notion is right now, I'm going back to sleep.
Amy, this is important.
Why? Why, for God's sake? You're not gonna die?
We're all going to die. That's not the point.
Then what is? I'm a judge. I know what a living will is. I don't have to read it.
Yes, you do.
Why?
Because of tonight. Because you don't listen to me, Amy. Because if something happens to me, I want the doctors to do what I want them to do, and not what you think is best for me out of some misguided sense of love or loyalty or fear of loss.
Okay, I've read it.
Initial it.
Oh, Ma.
Please. Thank you. That's just what I wanted for my birthday.
Hey, Mom. Now can I have what I wanted for your birthday?
Are guests involved?
No guests.
My father took that one. Life is a big circle. If I lose a few more teeth and start drooling, I'm gonna be right back there.
Wearing a few more clothes, I hope. Nice hairdo, Mom.
Oh, Daddy.
Young. Too young. Happy birthday, Ma.
Happy birthday to
What else you got?
Hi, just a reminder, lots of great things at bake sale. Come on, see the bake sale.
Sandy, lap 12. Leslie, lap 10. Kimberly, lap 12. Shane, lap 13. McKenna, lap 12. I'm sorry, did I do the pencil? No, I'm sorry. Sandy, lap 14. I'm sorry, do you have a pencil? No, I'm Kimberly, 13. Leslie, 11. 12.
Creative use of materials. I could use someone like you in the carnival company.
Like me? No. Definitely not. Trust me. You don't want somebody like me. Thank you.
Tom Gillette.
Amy Gray.
You a jogathon groupie, or does one of these belong to you?
That one's mine. She's Lauren.
She's pretty. No wonder my Zach is sticking so close. Little guy with freckles. So why wouldn't I want you on the carnival committee?
Because I'm terrible at things like this.
It's because they're having all the fun. Doesn't have to be like that.
Yeah, sure it does.
Come on, let's get in the race.
I have to count. Besides, you don't want to race me.
Why not?
Because I'm good. That boy Zach Gillette, he's in your class?
Yeah,
What do you know about him?
he just moved here from New York.
What do you know about his dad?
He just moved here from New York, too.
How can Mom be out of Frosted Flakes and Pop-Tarts?
Frosted Flakes are on the list. No one eats Pop-Tarts but you, Vincent, so I stopped buying them. Did you run out of food at your place, or did you just come here to spread sunshine?
Donna likes to talk in the morning. I don't. And her snake stares at me.
Snakes do not stare. They just can't blink. They don't have any eyelids.
It's interesting, if unhelpful information.
Well, maybe your sister can stop by the store this afternoon and pick up some groceries.
No, not today. I got a committee meeting after school.
Another one? I thought you did the jogathon.
We did.
Yeah, well, I just thought it'd be fun to be on the carnival committee.
I'll do the grocery shopping, Mom. Just give me the list.
No, that's not a good idea.
Why not?
It just isn't, that's all.
I have actually been to the grocery store since I was shot. The exact same grocery store, in fact.
I like doing the marketing. It's fine.
No, just give me the list.
No, really.
Just give me the damn list. Thank you.
Sorry, I must have lost track of time.
Well, that's okay. I guess I'll come back.
Thank you. It'll only be a minute.
No, we're through.
We are?
Yeah, I'll call you later. Your docket is full. You should get going.
It's not all that complicated. I know why I'm depressed. They're rushing the publication of my book.
Is that bad?
It's going straight to paperback.
But they're publishing it.
I just expected this whole thing to feel different.
You expected it to make you different.
No.
In our first session, we talked about your insomnia. Is that any better?
Nope.
What about your temper?
I'm just irritable all the time.
Vincent, do you know anything about post-traumatic stress disorder?
No, I don't.
Well, sometimes following a violent event, like being shot, people tend to exhibit certain behaviors.
I don't have a disorder. I'm just having trouble moving on.
It's only been a couple of months.
Look, I got in the way of a bullet. That's it. It's not like I nearly died. Anyway, Lisa's the one that should be affected.
Lisa?
The woman that I helped.
You mean you saved?
Don't try to turn me into a hero.
Why, because heroes wouldn't be published in paperback?
That's good. That's very funny.
Have you talked to Lisa since the shooting?
No. Why would I?
Just a question.
Nothing's ever just a question.
Your Honor, the state has charged juvenile defendant Dylan Shepard with the offense of manslaughter.
We ask that the complaint against Dylan Shepard be dismissed, Your Honor. The complaint should never have been issued.
He shook his 5-month-old sister to death. We have his admission. And his mother's statement to investigators supports the complaint.
He admitted shaking her, not to killing her. It was an accident, Your Honor.
The autopsy report says that Molly Shepard died from massive intracranial bleeding and subdural and retinal hemorrhaging attributed to violent shaking.
The death of Molly Shepard is a tragedy. It's a terrible tragedy. An accident for which Molly's parents have suffered, an accident for which young Dylan has suffered. With all due respect, Your Honor, bringing this case to trial benefits no one. The evidence is not sufficient, and the claim should be dismissed.
Okay, Mrs. Shepard, I realize how painful this must be for you, but would you tell me exactly what happened?
I was home with Dylan and Molly, alone. My husband was at work. Molly was in her crib. I asked Dylan, who was watching Rugrats, his favorite TV show, if he could watch his sister while I put the laundry in the dryer. Because we live in an apartment, the laundry room is downstairs.
So you left Dylan alone with Molly?
Well, I wasn't gone more than 3 or 4 minutes. But when I came back and checked on the baby, she wasn't breathing. I called 911. I tried CPR, but it was too late.
I'm sorry. What did Dylan say happened?
He said Molly was crying and he couldn't hear Rugrats. Dylan told me he gave Molly a little shake and that she stopped crying. He didn't know that she was dead. I know that. When I explained to him that his baby sister wasn't going to wake up, he got scared. And he thought something terrible was going to happen to him. And I told him that nothing terrible would happen, not as long as he told the truth. It was an accident. I know that he would never do anything to hurt her. You have to believe me, Your Honor. He would never, ever hurt her.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Shepard. I must conclude that there is probable cause for the issuance of this complaint. So, this matter stands for trial. Next case.
Vincent?
Lisa, hey. You remember me?
Of course. What are you doing here?
Well, I could ask you the same thing.
Except that I work here.
Right. What do you do here?
Oh, I'm a systems analyst. I interface with every department that shares the mainframe, and since we're also a major routing hub,
Maxine, I'm Jody's attorney. She wants to go home. She's been very clear on that. I've spoken to the mother, the stepfather. Everybody's ready. This has always been the plan.
It's a bad plan. We can't allow Jody to return home while the stepfather is still in the picture.
Maxine, Mark Pruitt admits that he drank too much, that he beat Jody.
Son of a bitch, no argument. But Jody never once said that he sexually molested her.
I was the original worker on the case before I retired.
How's that going, by the way?
I interviewed Jody's teacher. On 2 occasions, she found Jody in the school bathroom undressing younger students. This was shortly after the stepfather moved into the house. The foster parents told me Jody masturbated regularly for the first few weeks she was with them.
Maxine, I know. I've read all the files.
Hank, she was 9 at the time.
Her psychologist said the behavior has stopped.
What about the cause of the behavior? Will he stop?
Maxine, nothing's changed. You have to introduce new evidence.
Don't you think I'd like to? Do you know how frustrating it is to know something? To know it and not be able to convince anyone else? I've seen a staggering number of sexual abuse cases in 28 years. You know how many of the victims volunteer that information. Because they've been threatened, or they feel guilty, or they're too young to give it a name. How can you report sexual abuse when you don't know what sex is? It's my job to recognize the symptoms. That's what I do.
And you're never wrong.
Not this time.
Maxine, we're all overloaded with cases. We have to focus our time and energy on the ones that we at least have a prayer of winning. Jody wants to go home. That's the bottom line.
When a young child is violently shaken and the unsupported head is whiplashed back and forth, the brain literally ricochets around inside the skull. That's why we try to warn people. 3 shakes is all it takes.
Dr. Sackman, based on your evaluation of the evidence, were the injuries inflicted on Molly Shepard consistent with shaken baby syndrome?
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled. Yes, they were.
In your medical opinion, then, Doctor, could an 8-year-old cause this kind of injury?
It would take effort, but yes.
Could you be a little bit more specific, Doctor?
To equal the amount of damage from shaking a baby, the infant would have to fall from a height of 2 stories up. That's the force a baby feels when shaken by an adult. However, an adult outweighs a baby by as much as 20 times. So a child, depending on size and strength, would have to shake much harder, much longer.
Is it reasonable to assume, then, Doctor, that a shake of this kind would have to be deliberate and not accidental?
Objection.
Sustained. Doctor, what percentage of SBS cases do children or siblings account for?
Less than 1%.
In your medical opinion, would someone with Dylan's history and ADD have the strength to shake a body to death?
Objection.
Overruled.
Yes.
Thank you.
This is nice.
Yeah, I figured you could use a home-cooked meal. Probably eat out all the time.
Not really. I'm uncomfortable in restaurants.
Me too.
Oh, all public places, really.
I can't take loud movies these days. Noise in general just makes me crazy.
Oh, anything violent's out of the question.
Are you afraid of tuna?
No, I'm good with mushy food.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, the guy kind of choked me. He did some damage to my trachea, so it's hard to swallow.
You have any trouble sleeping?
And when I do fall asleep, I have these terrible nightmares.
I keep feeling like I should be getting past it. Everybody else has moved on.
I haven't. I dream about you, too. I mean about you saving me.
Well, I was just in the wrong place at the right time. I think if I'd seen that he had a gun, I probably would have run.
But you didn't. You saved my life, Vincent. And I'll never forget that. How could I?
Sorry Mark isn't here. He just ran out to pick up some paint. We want the room ready for Jody when she gets home.
Yellow's her favorite color. Mrs. Pruitt, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I would like you to consider withdrawing your motion for custody. I think it would be a serious mistake for Jody to live with you and your husband.
Jody's my daughter. She belongs with us, with the new baby. Not some foster family.
Your daughter belongs where she's safe. She belongs where your husband can no longer molest her.
We've been over this.
Yes, we have. And Jody needs your help. I need your help.
Please, you must be aware that things happened. Perhaps Jody said something.
How dare you? How dare you suggest I'd allow something like that to happen to my own child? That my husband...
Denise, it's okay. Miss Gray, right?
Yes?
If I did what you're suggesting, why does Jody want to come home? Why does she want to live here? You may not believe this, but I appreciate what you're trying to do. That you care. I let her down. We both did. Mostly me. I was stupid and cruel. I drank too much, and Jody suffered for it.
Yes, she did.
You were right to take her away. But I'm not that person anymore. I'm in AA. I haven't had a drink in 14 months. We're both in counseling.
We've done everything the court asked. Now we just want Jody back.
My wife has forgiven me. So has Jody. Isn't that enough?
Neglect petition. Mother is prepared to surrender rights.
All right. Well, let's go.
Judge Gray?
Donna?
Are you seeing someone?
Excuse me?
You're glowing.
No, I'm not.
Oh, yeah. You are.
Donna, I'm not glowing.
Sorry.
All rise for the Honorable Amy Madison Gray. Be seated.
All right. Let's begin. Counsel? Who's counsel?
Your Honor, I'd like to apologize to you.
You. You didn't tell me you were a lawyer.
You didn't tell me you were a judge.
Well, I was saving it for our date. I wanted to impress you.
Would have worked. About that, are we still on for this weekend?
No. How can we? It's a conflict.
You can always recuse yourself. Just this once. Might find out you hate me.
Yeah, that's true. And there wouldn't be a conflict. I'm not gonna hate you.
Damn.
Tom, you're a child advocate attorney. You're gonna be in my courtroom a lot, and I can't always recuse myself.
Then don't. Disclose to both parties on the record that we have a social relationship. Assure them that it won't prejudice your ruling.
Yeah, would you believe that if you were the opposing counsel?
No. So, what do we do?
How could you be a doctor?
Miss Gray, have you read the entire case status report that was prepared for this court?
Yes, I have.
And what are your opinions concerning reunification? Is it in Jody's best interest?
No, it's my opinion that Jody's stepfather, Mark Pruitt, has sexually molested her.
Objection.
And will do so again if we fail in our duty to protect her.
Your Honor, there's already been an abuse trial where these issues were raised. Nothing came of them.
Ms. Gray, it should come as no surprise to you that you're not the only one who has read the case status report.
No, Your Honor.
Yes, well, it clearly states that the young girl has repeatedly denied that she was ever sexually molested by Mr. Pruitt.
When I first met Jody, she also denied that Mr. Pruitt was beating her repeatedly with a belt. She was not telling the truth. I recognized this because I could see the welts and bruises, the physical scars. It was not until Mr. Pruitt admitted what he had done that Jody felt secure enough not to lie. Sexual abuse also leaves scars. They may not be physical, they may be more difficult to see. But they're there if you know where to look, and Jody Larson has them.
So you're referring to the incidents of disruptive behavior, masturbation, the fondling of younger schoolmates?
That is correct. 38% of all of the women in this country are sexually molested in childhood. That's more than 1 in 3. Most of them go for years without telling anyone because they are afraid or ashamed or have blocked the memory completely. I don't believe that children should be made to suffer because they're afraid to tell the truth.
Well, this court appreciates your concern for children, Miss Gray.
I asked Jody if she was afraid that her stepfather would hurt her again. She said, I'm older now. I know how to take care of myself. This is a 10-year-old girl. 10-year-old children cannot take care of themselves. They need their parents. But if their parents betray them, they need us. Your Honor.
So you're gonna recuse yourself?
Yep.
I see.
What?
Nothing.
Bruce, if you have a question, you can just come out and ask it.
I don't want to ask a question.
Yeah, right. You have absolutely no interest in the nature of my relationship with Mr. Gillette.
That's right.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It's none of my business.
Oh, you're afraid that if you ask me about my business, then I'll ask you about yours.
No, because that's not the nature of our relationship.
You know what, Bruce? Some people who work together actually talk about things besides work.
Well, we don't.
Well, you don't. I do. You never tell me anything.
Her name is Mia.
Mia?
That's what you want to know, isn't it? The one I was talking to in here? Mia's my daughter's mother.
Mia's a pretty name.
Well, we were young when we met, had a baby. Mia wasn't ready for the responsibility. She said she had things she wanted to do first. Wanted a career. Went to France, became a model. Now she's back. Says she wants to try become a family.
How do you feel about that?
Carried the torch for a long time. Didn't expect this day to come, though. So, how do you feel about Mr. Gillette?
Well, he's a lawyer. I'm a judge. It's probably best I don't feel anything.
Doesn't really help to talk, does it?
It's Lisa again. I know you're busy. I just wanted to say that I'll return the favor and make you lunch next time. Call me. In case you've lost my number, it's 555-0176. Talk to you soon, I hope. And Vincent, well, never mind. Call me.
My mom was making dinner and doing the laundry. I was watching Rugrats, my favorite TV show. My mom asked me to watch my sister Molly while she put the laundry in the dryer. Molly was crying. I was trying to watch TV. I asked her to be quiet. She wouldn't be quiet. So I shook her
Where was your sister, Dylan, when you shook her?
in her crib.
And how did you shake her? Can you show me?
Dylan, how did you reach into the crib?
Excuse me?
Did you reach in from the side like this? Or did you reach down into the crib from above?
My mom asked me to watch my sister Molly while she put the laundry in the dryer. Molly was crying. I was trying to watch TV. I asked her to be quiet. She wouldn't be quiet. So I shook her in the crib.
Right, you said that. But you're just a boy and you're not that tall, so I'm just trying to get a picture. Did you reach in from the side or did you stand up on something and reach down from above?
I forgot.
You forgot?
Your Honor, we'd like to request a recess.
Yeah, this court's in recess until tomorrow morning. Counsel, I'd like to see you in my chambers. You're gonna try and tell me that boy hasn't been coached.
That's his story, Your Honor. It is totally consistent with the statement he made to the police.
Consistent? Yeah, I've read this. It's verbatim. It's almost nearly identical to the mother's account.
Which speaks to its veracity.
Or to the level of rehearsal. I think he's covering for one of his parents.
Dylan admitted to the crime, Your Honor.
I'm well aware of that. I'll have my verdict tomorrow.
So what are you gonna do? Even if one of the parents did do it, it's not like they're gonna confess.
I'm not sure I should pursue this thing with Lisa.
Sounds like you two have a lot in common.
Yeah, if you count insomnia, depression, irritability, flashbacks, outbursts of anger. But beyond that, I don't know.
So it's not you looking for an excuse to bail on a relationship and run from commitment?
Why would you say that?
We've talked about that issue before.
It's nothing to do with the fact that I got shot.
Exactly. Just because you have a new issue doesn't mean the old ones have gone away.
Oh, so this isn't post-traumatic stress. This is just plain old fear of giving myself what I want.
Could be a little of both.
It just seems like a really bad time to get involved.
When would be a good time?
All rise. Be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has never been the purpose of this trial to determine whether Jody Larson has been a victim of sexual abuse. It is the duty of this court, rather, to rule on whether or not Mr. and Mrs. Pruitt have completed the specific steps necessary to earn the custody of their child. Now, that being said, accusations of sexual abuse are not something that I or this court take lightly. And for that reason, I have carefully reviewed the testimony presented by Jody's psychologist, teachers, foster parents, and transcripts of interviews with Jody supplied by her attorney, Mr. Leary. I found nothing I believe to be of substance to support the views and opinions expressed earlier by Ms. Gray. It is therefore my finding that Mark and Denise Pruitt have satisfactorily completed all specific steps assigned by this court. I hereby grant revocation, Mrs. Pruitt. Ms. Gray, please make arrangements to have the child returned to her mother no later than the end of today. Thank you. That's all.
Mom says they took pictures of the baby at the hospital. They think it's a girl.
A sister? Well, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I get to help with everything, and Mom's gonna show me how to change diapers.
That's a smart mom.
I'm going to feed her and sing songs to her and protect her when she sleeps.
She's lucky to have someone like you. What are you going to protect her from?
I don't know, everything.
Your mother will have to take you back to the Tanners to pick up your computer.
I got that.
And your games. Is there going to be a problem with that?
No, I don't think so.
Here, I have something for you.
What is it?
That's my business card. There's my name and the address of the building where I work, my telephone number, just so you know where I am in case you need anything.
Jody!
I must admit, I am troubled by some evidence in this case. I have heard the confession of a child to a crime that I have trouble believing a child could physically commit. Yet, in the absence of any other evidence or explanation, I have no other choice but to take him at his word. Now, given the violent nature of this offense, particularly the degree of force required for an 8-year-old to commit such an act, I cannot adopt defense counsel's argument that Dylan be found guilty of a lesser charge. Therefore, Dylan Shepard will be committed to DCF with his initial placement at Long Lane until such time that he reaches adulthood.
Your Honor.
Mom? Wait! You can't take Dylan away.
Well, I'm sorry, Mrs. Shepard.
No, I came here because I thought you would throw the case out.
Excuse me?
Mrs. Shepard.
An 8-year-old boy. I thought a juvenile judge would be sympathetic. It was wrong of me. I know, it was stupid. It was stupid and desperate. But I got scared and I panicked.
Mrs. Shepard, perhaps...
I never meant to hurt Molly. You have to believe me, Your Honor. She was my baby. but she wouldn't stop crying. I tried everything. I fed her, I changed her, I sang to her, and nothing helped. She cried for hours. Hours. When I was trying to make dinner and do the laundry, and Dylan had the TV up so loud, and it was too much. It was just too much. I wanted to scream. And I shook her. It all happened so quickly. In a second, it was over. It was over.
Hi. Hi. Can I help you?
Is Vincent home?
Who shall I say is calling?
I'm Lisa.
Vincent, it's Lisa! I'm Donna. Vincent's roommate.
Oh.
We're just roommates. I'm married.
Oh.
Hey, Lisa. What are you doing here?
I could ask you the same thing.
Except that I live here. Thanks, Donna.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Same here. I thought maybe you were having trouble with your phone, or
No, I
just didn't want to call me back.
No, I've been really busy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Look, Vincent, I don't want to make this awkward for you. I really don't. I just had a good time, that's all, and I thought you did too.
Yeah, I did.
Good. I came here to say I hope you didn't get the wrong idea. I'm not looking for a hero. Just a friend. That's it. Next move's yours. Good night.
Vincent, carpe diem.
Shut up. Butt out, Donna.
Lisa! Not so fast. Just talk to her.
Lisa, I didn't want you to get the wrong idea either.
Okay, then give me the right one.
I got a lot going on right now. I'm a little bit distracted, and I'm having a hard time just concentrating on my work.
You have a commitment problem.
Well, yeah, and that too. Look, I like you, and I don't want you to get hurt, especially after all that you've been through.
Vincent, I think I can handle it.
So, this weekend, do you want to get some mushy food and see a quiet movie?
Yes.
Amy?
Tom.
Don't worry, I'm not stalking you. I heard what you said, and I respect your decision and your integrity.
Oh, really? I think I might be an idiot.
You're just being a good judge. We could use more of those.
Well, thank you.
It's just that, well, I really like you. And I'm sorry that we're never gonna get to see if that feeling might have led somewhere.
I know.
Thank you.
Done. Good night. Oh, Jody. What a nice surprise. I didn't hear you come in. Well, where are my manners? Come and sit down, and we can talk. How would that be? Jody, where did that blood come from? Where did you get that?
Mr. and Mrs. Tanner had it.
Your foster family?
It was in their closet, in a box.
How did you get here, sweetie? Did your parents bring you here?
My mom went to the store to buy hamburgers for dinner. She said I should stay home and rest.
What about your stepfather? Was Mark at home with you?
He came into my room and I was laying down. He said he was glad that I came home. He missed me. He looked at me that way. I knew it wouldn't be any different. Not for me. And not for my sister.
Jody, what did you do?
I shot him. I told you I could take care of myself.